Hey, we got some production in. Holy cow! Our producer's a little nervous. He's got to
No,
come
I
in and
hit the
talk
button and
about
it said your browser is full. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, dude.
nervous. He's nervous. He's got to talk about.
No.
Why am I can hear it in the background too somewhere. Is it on my end? Probably. Good Lord. What is going
Okay,
on
baby
today?
Panthers got a W. Panther Nation, what is up? The Panthers got their first W of the season. We are no longer the only winless team in the NFL. Everybody's got smoke for me, telling me Bryce outplayed CJ Stroud. Bro, Frankie Louvu is the best player on our defense. And you know what? It's time for Tony Dunn to give it up. Chuba Hubbard is officially better than Cameron Artis Payne ever was, baby. Let's
Daddy, pull up their
go.
stats side by side.
And
I
no,
need to
man,
see
ain't nobody
game
got
by
no
game.
time for
My
that.
name's Tony Dunn. This is the C3 Panthers post game brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. We're here after the Carolina Panthers, or should we say the Cardiac Cats, take it down to the wire and beat the Houston Texans with a field goal that took 7 penalties. It felt like the field goal started out like a 38-yard field goal, and before you knew it, Eddie Pinheiro had to go throw it over the field goal whatever by himself. Man, he was a hero. Man, you got to see some relief of the Carolina Panthers players to finally get that W and get a taste of it. Kind of the monkey is off their back. The Carolina Panthers hosted the Houston Texans. It was the showdown that we've been anticipating between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, and the little guy got the better of the two, came out with his first W and played a strong game. This is the C3 Panthers postgame show. Go ahead and call in. We're taking your calls at 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Call us. Tell us what you thought of Bryce Young's performance, the Carolina Panthers' first win, CJ Stroud's rookie looking game right there, one that was not bad or good in my opinion. And now thankfully, thank God the phone lines are not melting with the discussion of we should have taken CJ Stroud. This is a referendum on that. I'm sure that discussion will continue to the end of both of these guys' careers. However, smash the thumbs up button, be a part of the show. My wheel man, Cody Lack. It feels good. We got a W. Actually, I don't even know what this feels like. I don't even know what this is.
We definitely don't know what it feels like this season, man. Look, I think it was a great defensive performance. We're going to get into the nuances of whether or not we feel like the play calling was truly different under Thomas Brown to Frank Reich. Apparently, Frank Reich has already said he felt there was a much better flow to the game with him not having to call plays and letting Thomas Brown do that. He said he felt like he got to manage the game better. So, if anything, that's just, a
common sense.
Look, it's a W. But we also have to be honest, it was a close game, too. Like, it literally came down. It was a 1-point game up until the very final seconds of the game. The offensive line is still incredibly suspect, probably more suspect than it has been in a long time. We need to have a real honest discussion about Ekwonu and his ability to play left tackle, because that's a situation that continues to deteriorate. And shout out Kristen Ledane, because our guy Frankie Louvu proved today why he should be off the table when it comes to trade talks. Dude, I'm tired of hearing the slander. Frankie Louvu is on every single fucking play on defense, dude. I love that dude. I love him. I want him to be a Carolina Panther until the end of his fucking days, bro. And I mean that shit.
CK is probably the most Panther thing ever to go in there to score a touchdown, to go and tie it up and miss the extra point. The little bit of life and enthusiasm and hope that we had as Panther fans and excitement was then squandered by a missed extra point. And then that came full circle down to the end of the game where it was important in how the Carolina Panthers were going to have to approach those final moments of the game, or at least Eddie Pinheiro got to put that out of our mind as he kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, that was obviously a bit of a anxiety-provoking last series of plays there as the penalties kept coming in and we got closer and closer, and then they made us re-kick it even though we made the kick because of it was weird. The Chuba thing is an interesting take because Chuba's numbers don't necessarily support that. However, Chuba made the plays, a couple of big-time plays when we needed them. Getting that first down there to allow us to start to bleed the clock out. I mean, dude came in here and he did better than Miles Sanders, clearly.
Oh, yeah. He's running with intention. I think for me, CK, and this is proven for Chuba throughout this season, is that in the past seasons, I just didn't like that. He never looked balanced. Like he always looked like his head was over his feet, right, like ahead of his skis in a way. He was always on the verge of falling down, it felt like, or it looked like there would always be like, man, did he almost fumble it? It was, I think he's running with confidence now, and he seems to be running with balance, and his feet are under him in a way that I think lets him play faster and freely and really look with his, kind of his vision matches his feet now. And I got to say, my favorite play of the day for Chuba Hubbard was him getting fucking wrecked by that defensive end. But even though he got wrecked, he was there.
And it slowed him down.
And it was slowed him down enough. You know what I'm saying? And it brought me back to that moment when we watched the Camp Confidential stuff. And this was with, I don't know if it was Miles Sanders or what running back it was, where Deuce Staley makes him calls him back out and makes them run it again. And he says, you got to meet him in the hole and not wait for it, right? You got to go and get him. So you're the aggressor. I felt like Chuba waited for a little bit, but boy, he got trucked and I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Chuba, big game for you today, despite it just being like, how many yards, Greg?
Like 28.
28 yards.
Look, this is this is where the stats don't necessarily reflect the truth.
Right.
Because the point of the fact of the matter is our offensive line does not pass protect well, and we are not run blocking very well either.
We're better today.
However,
up at the goal line three times.
It was better today, but when you're at short yardage, if you're on like 3rd and 4 or third and short, you know damn well that the running back needs to be Chuba Hubbard. It is undeniable at this point. He continues to get better. Everyone's going to judge him because he doesn't have these crazy numbers. But hey, the guy that we spent all the money,
crazy
I just said doesn't have crazy numbers. Are you listening?
We're not saying he is
the run threat on the Carolina Panthers.
No, Black Sheep was good too.
Some respect on his name. That's what I'm saying, baby.
He's the 7. He's the 7 surrounded by 4s. Like that's what it is, Like
CK. Oh, sorry.
He's the tallest little person.
Right.
CK nailed it. CK said it exactly right, Cody. You're being blinded right now because he made a few plays today in crucial moments. Look, you just said words out of your mouth on short yardage. This is the guy you want in the backfield. Well, guess what? We had 5 plays on the goal line today, and Chuba Hubbard couldn't punch it in there.
And we also refused to throw the ball in the red zone.
Okay. Well, man, I don't know what this Chuba defending the Chuba is so much. I think, but it is, you know what?
He's better.
We learned today that not all yards are the same. Not all plays are worth the same. And if you think about this, this is a fun part of how the game goes. An interception in the first quarter is not the same as an interception in the fourth quarter. So while Chuba Hubbard, and this is coming from somebody who has not been a fan of him throughout his tenure in Carolina, while his numbers at 28 yards are not crazy, according to, of course they're not crazy. They're not even fucking regular.
Taysom Hill
That's
had
all
more
his
yards
fault,
today.
right? That's all.
No. I think that making good big plays and big time moments is important.
Sure.
So while those numbers aren't crazy, it was crazy that he converted a couple third downs for us in some important times and got trucked in a way that extended the play. So flowers to Chuba on that. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast brought to you by Caldera Labs. Caldera Labs is a twice-a-day skin regimen for men, specifically designed for you guys. That's right, guys. We don't take care of ourselves enough. Sometimes we allow ourselves to just throw on a T-shirt, put on a pair of jeans, and go out with our beautiful women, and they're like, man, look at this busted dude beside me. You got to take care of yourself like your lady does. You want to stay looking fresh and young like your lady does. You want to look fresh like Chuba on third down, not on the goal line. But you can do that with Caldera Labs products. It's a twice-a-day skin regimen, from a face cleansing product to a wonderful follow-up lotion and nighttime serum that slows down the aging process, reduces wrinkles, and makes you feel fresh and clean. So fresh and so clean. Go to calderalab.com/C3 and you get 20% off your first order. That's right. calderalab.com/C3 for your 20% off. Guys, we got to win. We got a W. We got a W. We got a W. I guess I want to ask this. How did we get it? How did we get this win? What made today different than these other games? In fact, to be honest, this could have been the Falcons game. This could have been the Saints game. This could have been, there's one other game in there that we could have won. I can't remember which one. There was one other one that it could have been, and I don't even know what it was. And today, though, the Panthers found a way to win. And we heard this with Ron Rivera so much, is sometimes you have to learn how to win. The Panthers today took a step in at least remembering what winning feels like. And for the fans, they took a step into reminding us what a W feels like. In fact, now, you know what? We're winning the division. We are winning the division.
You know why we won today? Shout out to my brother C3 Phoenix. Frankie Luvu's mom in the stands
for the first time.
First ever.
Get this lady her citizenship right away.
No, get her in the box seats every single Sunday. The Panthers are playing at home, baby. Let's go, Frankie's mom.
Tepper needs to pull some strings and get her citizenship immediately, so somebody can't try to revoke her visa or something.
He's a billionaire. He can make it happen.
Yeah, he got to know some politician that can fast track their immigration paper, their citizenship papers.
Of course he does.
Can I bring up one thing that people are going to hate me for, and they're going to say that I'm a hater?
You are.
Do you think that part of the reason we won today's game was the fact that we only had to score one touchdown and score higher than 13 points?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be real.
That's the case in every game this year. We're 6-0, right?
Let's be honest. This team today.
I'm not trying to take away from
our defense played like that the first 3 games.
I think this is fair. This team today did not look wildly different than the team that we've grown accustomed to.
There's a couple of things I would disagree with.
I'm happy to have you disagree. I would say most of the, if you look back at the Falcons game, the Saints game, a lot of our games have kind of been down to the wire, at least in the early half of the season. The offense just still isn't gelling like we want it to.
Well, that's we saw some clear reasons why today, though. Today, I think we saw what would happen if our team played the way it was supposed to every week. And what I mean by that is this defense, or how they played in the first half of the season. What I mean by that is those games that we were close and we almost won, Cody, the defense played well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's what it came down to. The defense played well in those games. And today, despite some early struggles, like early in the game, against the run, where it was like, oh, God, these guys can't run the football against any team, but here they go against us. this defense showed up.
Right.
This defense kept us in the game early when the Panthers came out there. Look, they forced a 3-and-out on the first series for the Texans, gave the Panthers an opportunity to strike first, strike early. Sadly, a penalty put us back on the goal line, and then the Panthers were out of there, and the defense is back out there again. The Panthers defense held long enough. They didn't play great by any stretch of the means. The secondary played pretty well, though. I think we saw how important Xavier Woods is to this defense.
Yeah, that was the name I was going to mention. Xavier
Derek
Woods
Brown played well today.
Derek Brown played well today. A lot of batted passes. So again, that's another part of the conversation, right? When you're comparing the two quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, 6'3", 215. Bryce Young, 5'10", 200. CJ had 3 batted passes, and Bryce didn't have any. And by the way, before everybody starts coming at me, anytime I ever voiced any criticism toward Bryce, it was never really about his size or batted passes ever. Like, that was never my worry with him. I do think there were times today that they felt more comfortable letting Bryce push the ball a little bit. And again, that's kind of a big deal because the offensive line wasn't even protecting well. I mean, he got sacked 6 times today. I mean,
there were moments they were okay. There was just one fucking major weakness on this line today, and his name was Icky. And he played.
And we thought that we were going to have our franchise left tackle, and as of right now, we still don't. But the fact that they were able to move the ball downfield a little more, I think that's a sign that we should be able to walk away from this feeling good about. And then also, something else that we have to mention too, it doesn't matter what you think about Bryce. No one can take away this dude's toughness. The dude is not afraid to stand in the pocket. Maybe he holds on to the ball too long, but it's not like the dude is afraid to get hit. And by the way, even when he does get hit, he pops right back up, and so far has proven himself to be much physically tougher than the physically superior Anthony Richardson, who's done for the year. So if anything, Bryce Young is fucking tough as nails, bro.
CK, introduce that beautiful Panther fan.
Well, this is reason one why we won. She decided to dress up today and go full Panthers gear, ready
Tell
to
our
go.
audience her name too.
This is Raylan Olivia.
Oh, look at her Panthers gear.
Look at that gear. She's beautiful.
Yeah. She's
I love a baby dressed up and made to be a fan.
Yes.
I love how you can force babies to do whatever you want. You could be like, I don't know. You could be like, hey, wear this Trump shirt.
I know. You can make them do anything.
But
you know what? It always helps when they're a cute little baby wearing the merch of your favorite team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this. My real reason, reason number 2 as to why we won, and this is going to be a couple of pieces. Number 1, we made CJ Stroud look barely average. Right, like he wasn't, like he didn't perform. He didn't that part. Like he wasn't making the plays that needed to be made when the game was on the line. Right. Second, Bryce Young actually drove us down and won the game when it was needed. We've said this multiple times for the past 7 weeks, that Bryce Young, when the ball was in his hands at the end of the game with a chance to win the game, nobody really felt like he was able to do it. He did today. And he made some incredible throws. He made some incredible plays. He took some sacks that I think those 6 sacks I don't think are all on him or aren't all on the offensive line. I think some of that, at least 1, maybe 2, are going to be a result of him holding to the ball a little bit too long, and another is going to be probably coverage sack. But for the most part, this offensive line was garbage. But I think Bryce Young, I think our defense holding CJ Stroud to making him look a bit, again, barely average. I'm not even willing to say he's a bust. And here's the thing. I was telling everybody, telling the boys before we started the show.
Bust? He's been the most successful rookie quarterback in NFL history.
Right.
Dude,
so and this is exactly, but this is what I'm explaining. I told you guys on Tuesday, my belief of what was going to happen today is Bryce Young was going to come in here and prove that he wasn't the wrong choice, that he was the right choice, right? That did not mean that CJ Stroud was going to come in here and prove that he was the wrong choice, right? That meant that Bryce Young was going to come in here and continue to improve. And as I predicted, probably, 1 or maybe 2. Who else was on the panel? Cody, did you believe this was going to be a win?
No, I sure didn't.
It was
I
me
sure
and
didn't.
was it me and you, Tony? Then
I
that
think
predicted
I
the win?
called it. I think I called it on this show on the radio, though. On my radio picks, I went Texans, but I have but that is also because I said I will never pick the Panthers again until they actually win one first.
But here's
like I'm
right.
committed on that radio program to not pick the Panthers. Now today I'm going to pick them every week.
Here's what I will say. Is I am not saying that this is a permanent. Today, Bryce was at least a grade higher than CJ Stroud in his performance. And the reason you can argue that is, number one, the amount of drops that we had from wide receivers deep down the field is disgusting. It makes you sick. Okay. I don't know that there was a throw today that Bryce Young didn't make that was where it needed to be. Right. Now, that being said, he also was dealing with a lot more pressure. We have zero run game. And he's smaller than everybody else, right? So he shouldn't be that much head and shoulders better than CJ Stroud, pun intended, right? CJ Stroud had better protection, has night and day better weapons. It's not even close. You can talk Adam Thielen being a good weapon, but when you're looking at a whole of their entire offense, they have a night and day better offense than we do, from protection to the talent, okay? And their defense was clearly a good defense. Like, they were doing really good getting pressure up the middle. They were able to stop the run very effectively. So listen, there is the gap between them today was bigger than I think that it's ever been. But that does not mean that CJ Stroud is not the right choice. I still believe they're 1A and 1B. I just think CJ Stroud has had the benefit of a better organization and better play calling, and he's had better weapons.
All right, go ahead, Cody. React to that if you'd like. I mean, I've got plenty to say about it too.
Look, I'm not sitting here to shit on Bryce today. I don't think, again, it was that breakthrough performance that maybe some of the detractors were wanting to see, but Bryce Young did enough to win the football game, and he made some throws, and there was a throw that DJ Chark just flat out dropped. There was pressure on Bryce. He was able to get out, escape to the sideline, threw the ball downfield, perfect placement, and DJ Chark just straight up dropped the thing. So, you can't get that back. The fact that he was sacked, 6 times? Was it 6 or 5 total times?
6.
That he was sacked today. Okay, 6. So, that's never good. He was able to stand in the pocket, stand tough. I think for the most part, he played very well today. And it's also apparent to see that the talent on this team right now is just not good. It's not good. We don't have a wide receiver that can make an ounce of separation outside of Adam Thielen. And by the way, put some respect on that dude's name. He is a lock every week in prize picks. Whatever they have the receiving yards for Adam Thielen, you better hit more on that thing. And yeah, I mean, even later on in the game, Jonathan Mingo started to get the ball to him more, started to show out, started to get some more yards after the catch. There were certain things that did well. At the end of the day, we do not have a lot of talent, and we're making do with not a lot around us. And the fact that we were able to squeak out a W, I mean, as we are now able to plainly see, W's don't come very easy for the Carolina Panthers. So it's a big day for us, and I'm just like Panther Gal 73 with the $5. I'm just happy about a win, baby. I'm just enjoying it while I have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Super excited about the win. I think today's game was won because our defense played well enough, right? And I forced them a couple of punts in some moments, but I don't know if that's necessarily. I disagree. I don't think that Bryce. I think Bryce had the better game. Let me give you that, right? I do think Bryce had the better game out of the two, but I don't think the performances were significantly different either. And I mean, was Stroud locked in at every moment? There was that one play where he was rolling out. He threw a deep ball and he missed it by a little bit. It was a little short.
There was 2 of those,
right?
Yeah.
Right. But if you see this is really the difference in this game between the two players, and this is not supposed to be. And look, immediately people are gonna be like, "Oh, you don't love Bryce enough, or you're not." I like both of these players. I really do. Like, I like CJ Stroud a lot as a player. So I'm not rooting. I mean, today I was rooting against him. But the Panthers had 10 possessions and the Texans had 9. The Texans scored 2 touchdowns. The Panthers scored 2 touchdowns. We scored a field goal. They didn't on that 10th possession. Right. So is that so I want to I don't think that I think CJ Stroud looked today like Bryce Young has looked all season. And that is pretty good. You know, pretty good, but nothing to go nuts over. But to be like, oh, he's the greatest prospect.
He had some throws, but he also had some bad decisions and some misses.
Yeah, and he has, and people who have been defending Bryce in the face of CJ's success with the 0 interception talk for so long, and you point to like, oh man, that DB dropped one. That you saw today, CJ Stroud get away with a couple too, right? Is like fitting it in there. And you know what? You know what the difference between a bad throw and a good throw is? Just one working. You know, it's like in one case you're threading the needle, and then the other case you're throwing into double coverage.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I mean, it's the same fucking play. It's just who makes it in the end.
Like how often we get so upset, like we ran the ball 3 times in the red zone, right? But if one of them got into the end zone, we're not mad about the fact that they ran it 3 times, right?
I agree with Cody that we seem to be doing well by spreading it out and letting Bryce cook. I would have liked them to see at least one play early trying to do that. But I understand it. Like, hey, we're down there. Just try to run. And you know what? They won the series. I think this, again, going back to this, is I don't think that Bryce played head and shoulders above CJ Stroud or CJ Stroud had played head and shoulders below. I think Bryce has done today what he has done a lot this season, and that is take a step forward each week. Incrementally play better. And today he had the opportunity to do what we were all anticipating, or what we were hopeful for when we drafted Bryce Young. Right. That is going down there at the end of the game and finding a way to win.
The argument
is is that you get down there in the 4th, you've got one more possession than they do, and you made it happen. I don't think and that throw to Thielen. Oh my! Can I just say this? And then here's the mic to CK. Best play of the season by Miles Sanders is him pulling back and not trying to catch that ball, which Adam Thielen
absolutely.
Oh my God! I was like, I bet you Adam Thielen was in the background calling it like a center fielder. I got it.
I hope he was mic'd up or something. And that's the case, dude. That would be hysterical. You know, and listen, on the surface, I agree with what you're saying. I don't think the difference between the two guys is that big of a difference from what we saw on tape, right? With the stats and everything. What I think makes this a bigger difference is the lack of performance about from everybody else other than Adam Thielen on our offense, right? Whereas CJ Stroud, like, he was able to get the ball to his playmakers and they were making plays. Tank Dell
early, not late.
Exactly. Well, that's a testament to the fact that this defense was able to hold CJ Stroud to keeping the ball out of their hands, batting passes, and all that stuff. Like, our defense did a really good job. And I'm not even willing to say, because I mean, if you want to talk about the drops, we can talk about the drops that Bryce had. But we also have
dropped it. Which play? I must have been.
Mingo dropped a really good one. Chark dropped a dime down the field.
Was this third quarter?
No, I think it was first half. I think it was in the first half. I gotta go back and look. But here's, like, that being the case, the adversity that CJ Stroud has versus the adversity that Bryce Young has is night and day difference. CJ Stroud has been handed a keys to, I won't even say a Lamborghini. He's been given a BMW, right? Bryce Young has been given a let's just say a Dodge Neon, but with really good tires because of, you know, Adam Thielen.
You know what?
Overall second pick last year is the keys to the BMW. Natural second pick in the draft last year.
Dude,
it's an older BMW.
No, we can talk about that all we want.
Actually, explain that to us, CK, is how does a team that couldn't win but one game last year, whatever,
they have the better coaching staff. And one of the things that people were talking to us about last year when we were talking about this team is significantly better than the Houston Texans team and all that stuff. There were plenty of people in the chat who were trying to give us a heads up saying, don't sleep on the Texans because they have a lot of really talented people on that team. They just haven't had the quarterback to get them home. Right. And so they got the quarterback in CJ Stroud. They got a couple of more pieces on offense.
I think they got younger on defense too. They were like old on defense last year, the year before, or something.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you see they had Denzel Perryman on their team?
I did. He got hurt right after he made a big play too.
And how come we still Bryce can't get a damn rough in the passer call? Late slide. Come on.
Yeah, that was a rough in the passer. I agree with that.
I want to address this because we got to get Greg in there because the people in the chat want his take on this. But Nigel is in there. Nigel X, who is obviously, I mean, he likes Bryce.
He's trolling
Young.
me. Exactly. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
well, he doesn't
me.
like, he doesn't like your takes or your take so far. He keeps saying that he's too smart. Like this, there's two things people are going to point to this is like, they're going to say, well, man, Stroud got the ball batted and Bryce Young didn't, which is kind of an interesting. There was this old graphic I saw last year when they were talking about like Baker and like how, and it's not always based on height, your batted passes. It's like release point or something. And Bryce does have a real high release point and a cool arc. You know what I'm saying? He throws like like you would do if you're trying to sink a battleship. You know what I'm saying? Like drop it in the bucket in a way. It's got that good. But I can't say, oh, he's not too short. I can tell you this. He is short. Yeah. He is short. His height is not an advantage in the NFL. I'm sorry. It's not an advantage. He might be able to overcome that challenge and that disadvantage like he has all his life.
It'll never be an advantage. Maybe if you want to talk about his escapability.
Nah, he's not escapable either. He's not.
I agree with that.
But I did see that one play that it did seem to matter where his height was tough. Is that, do you remember the play that he brought a great pass too? How about this? It's going to be critical of a great pass. He threw that ball to Adam Thielen, and Adam Thielen wasn't out of his break yet.
Oh, it was right in his like, oh, dude.
And
he blamed
the guy,
it on himself, but
yeah, he did. And the guy on the announcer said this is that while he threw it with such great anticipation, the route needed to develop a little bit more. Right.
He said the rush pressure.
But the thing is, the only reason I'm bringing this play up is they showed Adam Thielen's view, and you couldn't see Bryce Young. Like that ball came out and it was like, and he was just
the ball
like,
just came out of nowhere.
Can I ask a question? Does that make this is a weird twist, but it's a question that I think is worth asking. Does that make his height an advantage because you can't read his eyes?
That's a fair
question.
You
can't read his eyes, that's for sure.
That's a fair question.
I always was wondering if it would be an advantage because the defensive ends couldn't see him where to sack him. Like, where is this guy? Oh, yeah. But I could say you could not. I almost felt like the guy on the that was calling the game said that he threw it because he was taking such a beating that he was kind of playing with a sped up clock. I think he had to play with a sped up clock because he couldn't see after the initial, like he saw it and he's going. I don't know. Greg, your thoughts? Look, is
real quick, Anthony with $2 says Bryce is my quarterback.
We got a couple of these. Read all the super chats out real quick.
I think I did. No, we got them.
Okay. Greg, Bryce Young today faced off against CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has been on a remarkable run as a quarterback. Today, it seemingly cooled against a basic defense.
All right.
Bryce Young has incrementally improved from week to week to week. Did not have any turnovers today. Your thoughts on Bryce Young's performance? How it affects the way you see Bryce Young and CJ Stroud?
Bryce Young played well today. I can't deny that. I mean, he didn't play fantastic because you can just look at it and say he didn't play fantastic based on the numbers. We only scored 15 points, 1 touchdown, but he played well. He didn't do bad at all. He's been progressively getting better every week, and I like seeing that. If people want to say that this proves that he's better than CJ Stroud, cool. I mean, I'm cool with that. I mean, both the Mannings beat Tom Brady and didn't prove they were better than Tom Brady. I mean, if you're going to ignore six weeks of stats before this and just base everything on this one, then yes, it proves it. I just can't ignore the stats before this and say that this one game determines everything.
No, it doesn't.
People are entitled to do whatever they want to do, and you can judge that, and that's fine. I just need to see what happens at the end of the year. I see Bryce Young progressing, and that's good to see him move forward. I think that Adam Thielen is a weapon. Credit for. We talk about how Bryce has no weapons, but Adam Thielen is putting up top 10 wide receiver numbers in the NFL, or top 15 at least wide receiver numbers in the NFL, which means that even if he is old and slow, he's still putting up those numbers. He's still a weapon. So Bryce Young does have
how much of that
is
Bryce Young getting the ball to Adam Thielen?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there's
what
a lot
do you
of
mean
that.
Not sure. If you're getting that many receiving yards per game, look, like I said earlier, he's a lot. He's a lock on Prize Picks every week.
I know, but he does 10 catches.
Hold on. But I can also say though, Greg, is that when Adam Thielen is the only legit weapon as a wide receiver for the Panthers, yeah, of course they're going to force feed him. Like, right. I don't think, listen, there were definitely those people that were trying to say he's old and trash and what stuff. That's
those
never
are the
been
people
true.
we're addressing. Those are the
right,
people we're talking to.
But it's also like his production is also because of the circumstances around him, and that's fair to say too.
But he still has to catch the ball. He still has to get the yards after the
100%.
catch. You can 100%. Throw it to him. He can be the only guy to throw it to and throw it to him. It doesn't mean he's going to catch the ball.
Right.
Look, here's my thing about right now what's going on, and it's exactly, go back and check it. I think it was 2 weeks ago I said it, exactly what was going to happen.
Yep.
The first game, Bryce Young has a good game, and we win.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I said was going to happen. Everybody was going to come in here, and they were going to tout how Bryce is the GOAT. We were wrong, this and that. Ignore everything else before that.
In the
Look
chat.
at that. He scored a touchdown today. He put up 15 points. He's the truth. Listen, Bryce Young is a good quarterback, and I like his progression. But can we just drop this delusion of him being the GOAT right now? Maybe one day he will be, but he's not the GOAT right now. He's not playing like it.
Can I also offer people a bit of caution? Listen, you coming in here and telling everybody who believes CJ Stroud was the better pick that they're wrong and CJ Stroud clearly isn't it and all, like, you're just asking for those same people that you're talking shit to come back the moment Bryce has another bad game, because it's going to happen. Yeah. Bryce is going to have a bad game. Right. CJ Stroud is going to have a great game. Like, it's going to happen.
Everybody wants to overreact over today's victory when the reality is,
to be honest,
wasn't that different than what we've seen from other games. This year.
True. And I think that means that all of this is that even the people who are supporting, whether it be Bryce Young or the people that don't like Bryce Young or the people that say the Panthers have no talent and that's why this and that, like all of these, the extremists of all these conversations, we were only 6 games in anyway, and Bryce is only 5. Like, so is like to stamp these definitive statements about people's success as a career is what I guess fans do. And that's fine. I mean, that's what it's fun a lot of times, but I mean, it's kind of like got you internet stuff where it's like, gotcha, showed you I was right. And the key is that's
the world that we live in, man.
It really is.
That's what Twitter is.
I'm so annoyed by a couple of people, and I like these people as people, but I hate their Twitter takes. And it's always like, I remember all those people that said we should run it back with Sam Darnold. Got your name on the list. It's just like, gotcha. But look, Bryce didn't have any. I think Bryce today played how we expected him to play all season in so many ways, is that he was accurate. He was tough. Well, I mean, if anything, the rest of the Icky failed him. Icky failed him. And one other thing with Thielen is I think Thielen's just a great match for Bryce Young. I mean, he runs
smart.
Yeah. And he runs those mid-level routes, so Bryce didn't really they were pushing the ball more today, but it wasn't like it was a downfield attack. It was what I would call mid-range, mid-passing, 10 to 20 yard passes, which is fine. That's actually where we thought this guy was going to live and was going to be his home. And that's where Adam Thielen and these guys thrive at. Kudos to Jonathan Mingo today, having a quietly good game, except for this one ball I didn't see him drop that CK said he dropped. I don't remember that. I mean, I didn't see it. But Bryce Young won at the – but you know what? We still didn't march down and get a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, we still struggled to get kind of like where it was at. Then we played it
one touchdown today. A nice touchdown.
My final thing I want to talk about with this offense, and then we can go to some call. You guys can lead the conversation. If I'm a coach and I'm 0-6, anytime I cross the 50-yard line, I'm going for it on fourth down. I hated the idea of us kicking field goals or like whatever it was. Kirk Cousins, Achilles. You see that? Is that what you're?
No. I didn't know that was an Achilles.
What happened?
Kirk Cousins ruptured his Achilles.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So no more
people in
Kirk
the chat.
Cousins.
That's why somebody said in the chat, do we trade a day 2 pick for get a day 2 pick from the Vikings for Dalton?
Why not? You're not using them. All right. Well, all right. So, okay. You guys want to talk about the play calling a little, and then we'll go to some calls. Play calling, 2 calls.
Yeah.
Thomas Brown took it over today, and you guys, I think it was Cody that said at the beginning that Frank Reich said this, and it looked like it freed him up a little bit. This is what I've been saying the entire time, is that all of this felt like overwhelming for Frank at a little bit. It's like, it wasn't that the play calls were bad overall. It wasn't this. It was just like, oh man, we're down to 2 minutes. I made a mistake on the play call. Then that bleeds out. Like one mistake leads to kind of like this. And this let him breathe in a way and look at it from a CEO's perspective rather than a district manager or something. But he did look uncomfortable early. Like, what do I do? His face, it was just like, he was like, man, I hate not. I think, that is a pride. That today was probably a humbling experience for him.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, listen, I don't think that the play calling was too much different today. Like, I still don't love the third down calls.
Yeah.
There was a lot of,
where the red zone calls.
But yeah, I saw some screen passes on third down I didn't love. I feel like there's also a tendency to continue to force feed up the A block. I would like us to up the A gap. I would like us to be, a little more versatile in how we decide to run the football. I would like to move Bryce out of the pocket a little bit more. There are some things that I would still like to see.
Pocket's not safe for this motherfucker.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. So if your pocket is not safe and you're not pass protecting well, I would use the mobility that your quarterback does have to extend plays and move them outside the pocket. I think that if we continue to build on some of the things that we did well today, we can continue to mount an offense that can be competitive in games. But I'm not like hopeful that this offense is going to continue to just like roll the other direction either, because unless we trade for another wide receiver before the trade deadline, or unless we're able to, get this offensive line looking better.
That's the issue. That's more than the receivers.
Yeah, it's like this is what our offense is. Like I said, Bryce played well today. We had a few players on offense that played well today. But this wasn't an entirely different offense than what we've seen previously. But listen, we need to give the credit to the defense. The defense played incredible today. There were batting passes. The linebackers played fast. Even Dante Jackson was making a name for himself, shooting around. Yeah, man. Yeah, he was absolutely they're playing aggressive today. I'm interested to break down the film and see exactly how he looked. But yeah, Brian Burns had a great day. Another player that we need to mention is Derek Brown. Derek Brown has been very disruptive in the middle of our defense. And I feel like now it feels like they're playing angry. Like now they're finally upset that they're the laughing stock of the NFL. They were 0-6. They said, man, screw it, bro. We need to go out there, especially if you believe in your quarterback, right? And there's all these rumors that, oh, maybe the coaching staff wanted CJ Stroud and not Bryce. If Bryce is really your guy, if that's your leader, if that's your teammate, then yeah, you don't need to come out and make CJ Stroud look like ass. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to get after the quarterback. And I felt like for the most part, that's what they did today. And that our defense was really the answer.
I knew you were about to talk about that.
And why the Panthers were able to win this today.
Jerry Jeudy with a beautiful route, underthrown ball, and a great contested catch. Big time down the field for him. I thought Mingo stepped up today as like it was just to continue with the play calling for a hair.
His drop pass, by the way, people are going to talk about it. It was a tough catch. Like,
was it?
Bryce put it in a perfect spot. It was early in the game. It was an anticipation throw. He broke out of his route. It was like he had to extend for it, but it hit his hands. And so he should have been able to bring it in, but it would have been a difficult thing to do anyway. So
I just felt
I can't put that in on
he
him.
was part of the game today in a positive way. I think for me is that if I was ever got it wrong on a player, it's DJ Chark. That guy, man, I don't like him no more. I don't know. Guys, I hate to say it. Well, hey, you don't like your own team. I don't play. Man, I wanted him to be so good. I thought he was gonna be something, and I don't. But you know what? How do we know how any of these guys are when your left tackle lets everybody run right by them, and it's just playing so poor. I think it's almost a mental hiccup now where he's scared to play football.
Yeah.
So I think that who cares who your wide receivers are if that's going to happen. Bryce Young took a big beating today. Early, there were some moments though where the pass protection held up. It's just in certain key moments too, it doesn't. Right. And when you talked about force feeding the ball earlier, Greg, to Adam Thielen, that is apparent, right? I mean, not force feed. Actually, that's the wrong way. We force fed DJ more in the past because there was nothing else to do.
Sure.
Adam Thielen is just high volume, right? Because he is, I think he's playing well. I think Bryce trusts him, and he's doing things in this system that you need. But you want to talk about, that he's getting the attention from Bryce Young and from this play calling. When we went down early on and we ended up having to kick, what was it? You remember the third down? It was the fourth down play. It was fourth down, the fourth down throw to Adam Thielen into double coverage from Bryce Young.
Yeah, it was like an out route.
No, he goes in, he ran right into the end zone, turned, and Bryce Young was throwing a quick throw. There was a wide receiver on the far outside, and he didn't run a route. He ran and looked and just turned around. Like either it could have been a screen pass he was expecting. It looked like this. That wide receiver knew that there was no chance in hell that ball was coming to him. Like that play was designed from the very beginning to be to Adam Thielen and Adam Thielen only. And I don't know if it didn't work. What's the good thing between a great play and a not great play? One works, one doesn't. One threads the needle, another one throws into double coverage. Bryce threw that with intention from the beginning, regardless of who was around. The defense made a play on it. That's what I got to say from that play call is Adam Thielen continues to be a big part of it because nobody else is any good.
Yeah.
Jeudy with a beautiful pass reception touchdown.
Oh, so, nice. Hey, I'm getting ready to put a poll up pertaining to that. I just put one on Twitter, but I'll save it for when I put it up. Railroad Man with the $2 says Icky going to ruin Young's career before it starts. Damn, you hate to see it. And then Jay Thomas with the $9.99 says good vibes this week. Been enjoying the film reviews. You guys keep up the good work. Keep pounding. That's right, man. If you go and check out our channel, C3 Panthers Podcast, we've been uploading. I mean, they're literally like an hour and 30-minute long film reviews. I've been breaking down the film, showing you guys what I see. And listen, I'm not pretending to be some armchair quarterback. Listen, this is a fan first podcast. I'll even ask questions during the film room. I'm like, hey, I kind of think that Bryce missed this play. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Check it out, man. It's something that we've been loving to do. So make sure you check those out, man. The C3 film room.
And please, for the people, first, everybody who's listening right now in the chat, 245 people on YouTube watching or so on our visual presence. Thank you very much for your time. I know that we're happy that we're celebrating a win. We really appreciate your input into the show, all your comments, your chat. When you guys hit me up on Twitter at @_Chronicles throughout the week. This is about building a community, not about you listening to us. Right. This is not us talking to you. It's us talking with you. And I think this is a good point to think about when it comes to the post game show, when it comes to the Friday free for all or Tuesday show. And most importantly, even the film review, the film room, is that we're not football experts. We're expert football fans. And that, what we are doing is we're fanning over here, being our best and trying to be informed, trying to think, and look at things with an educated eye in a sense. But I'm not a football expert. I'm an expert football fan. And you know what? If you want to be an expert football fan, I suggest that you take care of your grooming habits. Today's show is brought to you by manscaped.com. Manscaped is the #1 place to go for male grooming, particularly below the belt. But now Manscaped is in the game of facial care. They have the beard hedger now. They have new products each and every week or every year they're coming out with new products to help you take care of your body from your head to your balls. Manscaped has got you covered. Use the promo code Panthers and you get 20% off your order plus free shipping. Manscaped is the #1 leader in men's hygiene care. I'm going to tell you this. These guys got it going on. And look, Halloween is right around the corner. Man, they say step your game up from Balloween to bring. So don't just worry about your balls with Manscaped product. Now worry about your beautiful face. Balloween step away from Balloween to bring your face the cleanest shave it's ever had. So this season, no need to toil and trouble. Manscaped's all new Handyman, which is a facial electric razor add-on to this wonderful product, is the best way to get rid of that stubble. Featuring a compact design and next-gen skin-safe technology, the Handyman was designed to give you that smooth finish without the mess of a traditional shave. Get the sweetest treat this Halloween by going to manscaped.com and using the promo code Panthers to get 20% off plus free shipping. Cody Lack, I can't think of a cooler thing to do than to have a wonderfully beautiful set of trim balls, a nice clean shave, or a beautifully groomed beard. All of that and listening to some cat calls. The number's 252-228-5098. That sounds like a wonderful experience to me.
Hey, let's do it.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
How's it going, guys? This is C3 Coach Kurt.
Coach Kurt.
Hey, CJ Stroud. Suck it. Suck my.
Oh,
Let me chill out. My kids are in the car for me.
My lollipop.
Nah, bro.
My lollipop.
Bryce Young, 22, 31, 235 yards, passing tutty. Bro, but he was sacked 6 times. Still had a 103 passer rating, bro. Adam Thielen, 8 for 72. Mingo, 4 for 62. Like, I feel like the biggest thing that Thomas Brown is trying to do is implement another receiver, and I think it's going to be Mingo. but we have got to go out and get a new O-line. Like, we have to add pieces. I mean, that man got sacked 6 times and still outperformed C.J. Stroud, who only got sacked twice. I mean, I thought we did pretty decent on shutting down their run game between Singletary and Pierce. Even Tank Dell was running the ball. I mean, Texans really only got things done with Stroud. Stroud ran it in for 1 yard, and I think their fullback got like a 1 yard rushing touchdown or something like that. One of the two. Yeah, I think it was a rushing. But guys, it does not matter. Like, yes, our O-line is garbage, but we got to win. We are 1-6. I think we should be able to, or hopefully we do, add something before the trade deadline or add another piece to this offensive line, switch up Icky to tackle and add someone else at left tackle, just something. But, hey, boys, I don't want to hear nothing about how garbage our O-line is anymore or anything like that, even though I was just banging on them. But we got a dub. Keep up and pounding, y'all boys. Peace.
Keep pounding. And shout out to the homie J Subs with the 499. Says congratulations to Peppers and Moose. Glad we got the W for them. That's another thing, man. The Panthers Hall of Honor was updated today. Julius Peppers and Moose and Muhammad were officially inducted into the Hall of Honor. That was a great thing for them, man. And also shout out to my man J Stubbs. He recently had a death in his family too. Hearts go out to you, J Stubbs. Thoughts and prayers, brother. Love you, man.
Somebody said they were just checking in to see what kind of Bryce hate was going to be spewed today. They didn't say those words; those are mine. But they basically are saying, "What are you guys going to joke about Bryce Young?" I'm not going to talk a joke about Bryce Young. I haven't. I've been complimentary of him, but there's always a but. Did you see that fucking? This is great news here. This is great news for our team. The Atlanta Falcons lost today.
Yeah, the Falcons and the Tampa Bay lost on Thursday. So
Will Levis, rookie debut, 19 for 29, 19 for 29, 238 yards and 4 touchdowns, dude. And he got this great. He does every time. He does the big pump fake. Like, it's like nobody did, but I was thinking of it, and so here is, if you wanted some Bryce slander, here you go. Not slander, is I was just looking at Will Levis behind, like back there, and I was like, that motherfucker is a giant.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
He is a big guy, right?
Dude, I was watching Red Zone, and for a minute I forgot I was watching the Titans. I thought it was Justin Herbert. I actually was like, oh, that's the Titans. Like, damn.
Right.
All right.
I just think
he might win Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie Offensive Player of the Year.
I just thought this is that part of when I first said it in my head. It's like, God, that motherfucker is big. I think part of it is not that he's just so big, but then I've been looking at Bryce Young at the quarterback so much. It's like, it's such a visual juxtaposition. Bryce did. I think the criticism, and this goes to people in the chat that think that if you think we're bad on Bryce, you should check out the Black Cat Panther podcast. Them motherfuckers are brutal.
Yeah,
I felt like I was a Bryce.
We are not the number one Bryce haters. I feel like we have been very fair. That Bryce has done good things. Bryce has done some bad things. He's playing like a rookie in the NFL, and I have no problem saying he continues to get better. I do believe that he is getting better. Call me a hater all you want. I don't feel like he has had that breakout performance yet. That also doesn't mean that I think he can't. Either.
He hasn't had that.
Like, both of those
time,
things
how
are true, man.
you?
No one's hating for no reason. You don't think, bro? We've been doing this podcast together for 5 years, all of us. Tony's been doing it for even longer. You think we don't want our quarterback to be successful? Of course we do. We're just not gonna come up here and pretend something that, like, pretend like we're seeing something that we're not. We're gonna keep it honest. We're gonna keep it, keep shooting it straight. Well, everyone's allowed to have their opinions over at C3. We're not force feeding anyone a certain narrative of any damn thing, man. We let Panther fans be fans.
which is also why the C3 as a whole isn't shitting on Bryce, right? You have different opinions on the panel. It's not like,
Yeah, that's
me
what
over
that's
here
what
is
some
talking
people
shit
think.
about
It's like
Bryce.
one voice, one person.
Right.
C3 is like an army of people with all different positions.
So, I mean, and here's the thing: people can have their own beliefs. I personally believe that when you see what we've seen, I think you see ups and downs and everything. But for me, it's all been ups for Bryce, and I mean that because we started really bad. He got a little better, got a little better, got a little better. He hasn't taken a step back yet.
No.
I'm not saying he won't,
Thank
but
God,
so far
dude,
he hasn't taken a step backwards.
He keeps getting beat up like this. A step backwards is going to be injury. But luckily, it's kind of one of those things there too. This might be the advantage of being tiny in the NFL. It's like easier to pop back up than if you're like 6'6", 280, and you get, you're like you just come down like a big ass tree timber.
Right.
I talked about it. I said it. I told, like, when everybody was talking about his the potential for him to be injured and all that stuff, my argument has always been the same. Yes, it might be easier to get him down on the ground, but he doesn't have to fall as far. And let's be real about it. He's not going to take those hits head on intentionally that you saw, unfortunately happen with Anthony Richardson. So I think Bryce has been the recipient of exactly what I talked about. Is he's not taking dumb risks, and he's not, when he does get hit, he's able to get back up because, again, he's smaller.
I think that Bryce Young is going to show a lot of Panther fans what they tried to convince them you could do with like Kyle out, is the idea that you have to build a great team and then you don't have to have a great quarterback. Now, hold on. I'm not saying this as well as I want right out the gate. I think Bryce Young, because of his lack of physical superpowers, right? He's not Cam Newton, right? He's not Cam Newton in size, strength, speed, all of that. Because he isn't that, I think you're going to have to build a football team the right way. And that is this. So he can play great. He can be awesome. But just like any quarterback or anything, even a Cam Newton who can mask it a little bit better, you can't go to the promised land with a bad team. You can't go and if you do, it's a fluke. So I think Bryce is going to expose to us, because we invested in him at the number 1 pick, that you have to build a team that has not only offensive weapons, but more importantly, gives you an opportunity to get the ball to those weapons, to run the ball effective. We're sitting here jumping up and down, celebrating Chuba Hubbard. He had 28 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's not
we've lowered our bar.
Oh, totally.
We've lowered our bar for what is good. 28 yards is good now.
But you can't win. You can't win in the NFL with a bad offensive line. You just can't. You can. There are people like Cam Newton who can get by at times, right? Lamar Jackson can get by at certain times without. But it was a travesty. It was a waste of an opportunity with the talent of Cam Newton to not build a better team, particularly the offensive line in front of him. And not that led to his injury, but you can't. Bryce Young will never be able to be the player that he could be if he's getting sacked 6 times a game. You'll never in your best world be able to. He will not achieve his potential in the NFL if you don't put a team in front of him that is capable.
Yeah. And it's going to take time. It's going to take, bro, I want to talk my shit so bad because of this fucking chat room and because of Twitter, bro. But they are not going to bait me into shit talking on Bryce when we got the fucking W today. I'm going to say, oh, bro,
right,
I'm biting my tongue, bro.
Let's go back to the calls.
Clown boys up in here, dog.
I know. They get mad. Next call. Tell them to call in if they.
Hey guys, this is C3 Coach
Yeah,
Cody.
really.
I just wanted
Hey,
to
pause it for a second, Tony. Pause it. Hold on. Pause it. No, look.
A lot of them can't get out from behind the keyboard to do that.
If you got some shit to say to me, bro, as far as these podcasting streets, I'm outside, dog. Hey, the number, yo, the fucking number 252-228-5098. Bro, is that not enough for you? Every Friday we do a free for all, but you can pull up on the fucking stream your damn selves, and half of y'all don't got the balls to fucking do it. So pull up, talk your shit, cause I ain't fucking going nowhere.
Call
What's
in
up?
252.
Say my fucking
My
name.
man.
Get him, Cody. Let's go back to Coach Kurt's second part of his call.
A couple of flaws in Thomas Brown's play calling. I mean, obviously he is new to it, and it's not going to be perfect or anywhere close to that. Game one, the fourth down call where they ran the ball with Chuba again. I think it was like 3 run plays on the goal line. I think that could have been a little different, because I feel when you look at the fourth down they did on that last drive, when it was like a quick flick to Adam Thielen, and you got to do stuff like that. You got to mix it up instead of just run. I mean, at that point it's just really predictable. But at the same time, I feel like Bryce Young and Thomas Brown will have a better chemistry than Frank Reich and Bryce Young. Yeah, baby, I know. Panthers won. It's crazy. But no, I think our defense did well. I mean, Brian Burns, he got 1 sack, but then kind of left. But I mean, Frankie Louvu, I'm pretty sure, had like 7 solo tackles and a sack. I mean, that man is still a machine. Dante Jackson had a ton of solo tackles and a forced fumble. I mean, I think our defense did come through, but I feel like we have to be able to apply more pressure to the quarterback. But other than that, our defense looked all right. Obviously, like I said before in my previous call, our offensive line is struggling, but I feel like we really do need, another receiver and more to this O-line. That will still be a flaw regardless. But hey, Tommy Tremble got a touchdown today. Targeting different things will be good for this team. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Yeah, man, thank you for the call. And there is something I think that Thomas Brown, I think, is bringing something to the table. I thought there was some life in I think, what the play calling today was just a self-acceptance that even though you're going to have to run the ball to establish, to keep defenses honest, you're going to have to run the ball and make it part of the game. I think he knew that that's not where our bread is buttered at, though. I think he understood that, this team just isn't strong. And maybe you could say the goal line ones don't show that, don't prove that. But I just felt like the passing was earlier and often than it was, more first down passes, more first and second down passes. And then we would, you would chew off a second, and it would be 2nd and 9 or whatever. And then Chuba would get us into 3rd and 3. So you were passing 2 out of 3 downs instead of 1 out of 3 downs at times. I just felt like it was, good. I mean, look, it was enough to get the win today. And this is the thing that we have. This is the type of win that our team has to get. And I said this throughout the beginning of the season, is that we're not going to win pretty. It's like we're not going to go out there and have Bryce throwing for 350, putting up 238, 4 touchdowns. No, leave that to Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins. No, the team just isn't good enough to go out there and impose its will on people. They're going to have to scratch and claw and bite and poke people in the eyes and win at these crappy, gritty moments. And, we couldn't do that in the first 2 weeks. And then you went and started playing teams that were more explosive, and you weren't going to be able to keep up with those teams. So today we got to win against a team that we could beat. And we didn't do that earlier in the season. And now next week we have an opportunity to get a win against the team that we could beat. It will not come easy. It will be like this. You'll have to scrape, scratch, claw, fight all the way to the end. But if Bryce plays clean like he did today, no turnovers, the defense causes a turnover, And CK brought this up on last show, is this is the time for the defense to make a big play. Sadly, though, is we had some times we couldn't capitalize on that today, right? Wasn't the fumble recovery, then we all like basically went 3 and out, penalty or something like that. One of the times we had good field position, I think it was at the somewhere in the third quarter. I had to run to the store and buy some dog food and get some aspirin. It was around there. It's just like you can't be, and we almost beat ourselves early in this game with penalties. But we started to clean things up later on. Let's go back to the calls.
Well, boys, 1-0 after the bye week. We can make the comeback. I know I'm optimistic right now because we just won our first game, but fuck it. Let's do it. We fucking gotta win. This is Kyle from Virginia. Man, if anyone doesn't see the talent that Bryce Young has after this game, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it wasn't the greatest game, but dude was out there making throws. If I hear somebody say Bryce Young is the problem and they fail to mention Icky Ekwonu, yeah, you're done. You're done. Anyways, boys, I'm not complaining at all. We got a W for the first time. Let's keep it going. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Bryce with his, today, would you have to, I think you have to say today was Bryce's best game.
It was
22 for 31, 235 yards and touchdown. Helped or manufactured basically him and Chuba Hubbard and Adam Thielen. Those three people manufactured some long drives, set them up for a game-winning field goal. And look, is this 2 weeks? Tommy Tremble with his second touchdown of the season already? That was a cool.
Yeah.
I tell you this, I got scared. Did anybody else get nervous on that first touchdown?
Yeah, when he threw the ball, like in the back of the end zone?
I was just like, I just thought his back was turned. Icky was getting roasted. It kind of took a little time for the play to develop.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought he was going to get wrecked from behind. And right when the guy was close, he couldn't feel him coming. It was complete blindside. And he got rid of the ball. And it was just like, oh, thank goodness. Tommy Tremble. Man, not so bad. Where the hell was Hayden Hurst at?
Can we, dude? He went in there and dropped a key catch, dude. He had a great ball that was right in his hands. It was that that final drive. It was that he did this screen pass to Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst dropped it, which would have gone for probably 8 or 9 yards. They basically ran the exact same play with Chuba, who got the first down after that drop. It was like ridiculous. But here's what I want to say, because I think that actually is a good point, because that took place. We got the ball back on our own 9-yard line, and the game-winning drive was from our own 9-yard line. Like, that is worthy of saying that was a breakout performance by Bryce Young.
Or I mean, look, everybody's gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna give. That's the Bryce Young Bryce Young we drafted.
Like, CK,
we drafted him for that exact moment, to be on the 9-yard line, to have an opportunity to win, to go down the field and put yourself. And you know what? We almost had those earlier on in the season. You know what I mean? That's what we're just missing. I never thought Bryce was going to be a 350-yard pat. Well, maybe he can be in the intangibles and some stuff later on. I thought it was his resolve, his coolness, his calmness under pressure. And I think it's starting to really show.
I agree.
Yeah, and again, man, it's like I'm trying to call it honest. People are just gonna call me a hater. Like, I disagree with CK. I think Bryce had a good game, and I'm not saying that it was a bad game. I just don't know if I would define it as a breakout performance either. I thought he was good, but like, okay, so for example, right?
But Chuba had a breakout game.
But
that's
clearly
think about this.
Dude,
Cody, you gotta think about how ridiculous that take is.
No, I'm talking about running the football. We only have one running back that can do it. I'm saying Bryce played well today, and that is, like, for example, if you look right now, and no, I'm not doing a 1-for-1 comparison, but for example, today Will Levis had 4 touchdowns, right? Like, say what you want about him. If you never liked Will Levis, and by the way, I never liked Will Levis. People are already bringing up my old shit on Twitter about Will Levis, but the dude had a breakout performance today. That was
Like
a
a
game where
coming
you're
out.
like,
Bryce
yeah,
hasn't had a coming out
that
party.
was the
would
type
you
of
say?
game where you could be like, oh yeah, that dude. Okay, you can see the vision,
Superstar.
right?
Yeah.
Right, 100%, man. Like, but Bryce does not have the talent around him, in my opinion, to have that type of breakout performance.
But guess what? He still went and won the game with a game-winning drive, 86 yards in the final 3 minutes of the game. You cannot say he didn't have a breakout game when the one thing you've asked for the past 3 weeks is for him to show that he can be clutch. And we don't have a running game. Like we started the podcast, and to be fair, you were basically crowning Chuba Hubbard, right? Starting out, his performance was lackluster as well. Right, we can, but with that,
maybe
we'll be willing
not because of him, because of the team.
Tony,
and some
but
things.
we're willing to give Chuba that same consideration.
Not me.
We're willing to give Chuba that same consideration, but we're not willing to give Bryce that same consideration when he has nothing.
I said that Chuba had a break? I said that he is running
I'm
back
saying you
one
start. I
for
never
the
said that.
Carolina Panthers.
I never said you started out the.
Those are
you
two
said
completely different
he
things.
didn't have crazy numbers, and you were right. He had crazy bad number, like not good number. No, I think you're actually both. I could see both of your points here. One, I think Cody is right. Is that like, look, if we're gonna go out and say 22 for 31, 235 and a touchdown is his breakout game, then you're like, oh man, that's like, you know what? If Cam would have had this game right here, if this would have been a Cam Newton game, we would have been like, this would have been, now Cam would have had 80 yards rushing as well and there. Right. But people would have been like, see, he can't ever be more than a 250 passer. Can't ever be more, you know what I'm saying? But I think you're also got a great point, CK. It might not, maybe not the overall game, put it that way. But that last drive is that's the vision that Cody wanted to see. That's the vision, is that you got a guy here that can manage the whatever talent he has and the opportunity and not feel overwhelmed.
I think
they're both. I think there's kind of good. I think there's some good, not truth. I don't think one's right, one's wrong. I just think there's some substance to both positions.
I think this is the best way to describe it. We went and we had five scoring drives and one that was a turnover on downs on the one because we have no run game, and a one-dimensional offense that has a horrible offensive line. We had five scoring drives. We had 2 field goals, a touchdown, or maybe 4 scoring drives, and the 5th one was that red zone that got, or we were on the one, we got the turnover on down. 5. And the only thing we had was a passing game. We had no run game whatsoever, period. And we were still able to, Bryce was still able to lead this team down. And yes, he had some benefit from a turnover. He had a good run back from Blackshear on one of those
against one of the worst defenses in the league.
Do you think this is the Texans are one of the worst defenses
statistically,
in the league?
Remember when we put it up early last week and we were like, this can't be right? I mean, they're like statistically, they're not great.
By that same argument, you have to acknowledge that CJ Stroud didn't perform very well against the worst defense in the NFL.
I agree. And well, you know what is,
I don't know
the Texans defense, our offensive line made them look good.
Yeah,
like whoever these guys were. And actually, go ahead.
I just want to say, if you feel like Bryce, if you're a Panther fan, and you feel like Bryce had a breakout performance today, great. Like, I'm glad that you saw what you needed to see from Bryce, man. I'm not trying to shit on you or anyone for thinking that he had a breakout performance. Yes, he did win that game, lead that game-winning drive. Yes, he did have a 70% completion percentage. Yes, I understand that. I'm saying those types of games that makes the entire NFL look at what your quarterback is doing when you're throwing for 3 or more touchdowns per game. Those are the eye-opening moments. And I don't think Bryce is set to have that performance on this kind of team the way it's currently built right now.
Sure.
I don't think that's unfair to say.
Until DJ Chark can start running better routes and Icky can stop anything, dude. We really need to have that. Greg, go ahead. Have that. You say what you guys say, and then I'm going into another call.
Well, it was just like I said. I think we've lowered our bar for what's good, and I get that we're judging Bryce on a rookie quarterback, and I don't want to talk shit about Bryce because he did have a good game today. It's like I said, I'm not talking shit about him. I understand he's my quarterback, okay, but when I look at it realistically, I want to look across the league and see how many games we would have won scoring 15 points. That's what I mean by he had a good game today, but it wasn't something that was phenomenal.
Right.
He scored one touchdown. It was a great touchdown pass. He had
And it
some really
wasn't-
good passes today.
Yeah, look.
But let's be realistic about it. The team he played didn't even score the NFL average for points this week. We didn't.
This
even
is
score the
how
NFL
we're
average
gonna.
for
This
points
is how
week.
the Carolina Panthers
Yeah.
were destined to win any game this season.
Yeah,
Is
right,
by
but that's-
fighting scratch, and it doesn't mean
that's
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying.
hold
This
your
can't be the
opponent.
game you say is the breakout game.
Right.
You can say it's a good win. Let's celebrate the win. This is not a breakout.
Let's celebrate
game.
Bryce's
Because he played
continued
CJ Stroud,
progression
yeah.
in that process too.
Yeah.
I think the other, and maybe because I'm married and I really get this. If you're married, you'll understand this. Is sometimes it's not about the outcome; it's just about who's right. And the people
Everybody's
who,
supposed to be right.
oh man, if you're married, at least with my
Yeah, but
wife,
that's
is
what-
she
that's
can't
what
be
people-
wrong. So I
that's what
think
people say
this
about
is
me.
like, is who cares really if this was a close game? If Bryce played pretty good, like good, because if I say pretty good, people are gonna be like, right, who cares about all that? It's either evidence that supported the conclusion that I had before I was
Right.
going in this game, or it's evidence that doesn't. And so instead of, it's not about evaluating as much, it's just about being right. And if you feel right, then good. Like Cody said, I think again that the Panthers aren't going to have to hold. They're not going to be able to hold many teams to under 15 points.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case. But I do think if you're going to win any game this season, it's going to be in these types of 2-point field goal downs. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to go out and we're going to just whoop up on somebody 27.
You're going to have to catch a team on a bad day. Basically,
Everything they
like.
have to make mistakes, and we don't. And we said this earlier, and people need to understand this. When you're not a super talented team like the Carolina Panthers, if you go back, think about the games we lost. Oh, well, there was plenty of them to think about. But the games where people were critical of Bryce Young were games that there were just mistakes that were made. And you know what? It's not fair. I didn't think it was ever fair to say Bryce sucked because he threw 2 picks in a game. I don't think that was fair. I don't think that was fair on Bryce. I think it happens. I think there's going to be moments where great players have bad games. I think there's going to be moments where rookies aren't just out of the gate Hall of Famers. I think that when Bryce Young fumbled the football in that time and then they took it to the house or whatever it was, that sucked. I don't think it was a referendum on Bryce Young. But what I do know is that the Carolina Panthers don't have a team that is good enough to win games when those types of mistakes are made.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, we have to play perfect and the other team has to make mistakes. Those are the only times we're going to win. We can't be like the Philadelphia Eagles today, where they get down 2 scores. They were playing shitty and they got caught sleeping against the Washington Commanders, but then they turned on the gas and came. We're not built like that. We can't beat a team like that. We are the kind of person that's going to go into a test. If you think of a student analogy, is that we're not the smartest kid in the room. We're just not the most gifted kid in the room. The only way that we're going to, but every now and then we're going to score better on the quiz or the test or the paper than the smartest kid in the room. But it's going to take us sweating and gritting and revising and studying to get that 88. And they didn't study and they got an 87. Let's go ahead.
At least we don't have the team that and I know everyone's talking about the Panthers, but I just saw it and we have to talk about it. The 49ers were in the field goal range, 10 seconds left to go in the game, no timeouts, and they decided to hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey in hopes that they could get some yardage and then spike the ball. Needless to say, they went into the half with no score because they didn't have enough time to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Tony, before we do more calls, Jay Thomas with the 199 says, where do we stand on Brian Burns. I mean, at this point, I think, and y'all tell me if y'all want to chime in, I think we're going to have to redecide this at the end of the season. At this point, I don't think they're trading Brian Burns. I think they would have done so already if they were going to. We're just going to have to see what Brian is going to continue to be able to be this year. Because if he's able to pass 12 sacks like he did last year, then he's going to make more of a case for him to get paid at the end of the year. White Chocolate says, with the 199, finally won, and I'm also burning. Ooh, that sounds like a sunburn, baby. I know all about them.
Well, that sounds like you need a penicillin shot.
Oh,
it's a
man.
burn when you pee.
Some aloe vera or something. Nirvash with the $5 says Bryce had a good game, but not an incredible game. I feel like I'm getting ripped hard by not saying he had an incredible game by most Panther fans.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, you're a hater if you don't say he's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's almost like if you don't say that Bryce has proven himself to be the best quarterback talent of the past 5 years, then you are falling short of giving him his necessary amount of praise. Bryce Young is playing better. He's playing good. He is by far one of the biggest reasons why we were able to win today offensively.
And he didn't make any mistakes today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No mistakes. And look, here's another
and we barely won. That's what we're gonna have to have.
He's turned down on turnovers. He's not fumbling the ball anymore. He's taking care of the football. He's not throwing interceptions. Good for him, man. Good for him. He's playing better football, and we'd like to see it. And the Panthers won today.
We got one more.
The Panthers won, and this is where I think people are saying, like, I guess they get frustrated because I mean, I would get frustrated too if I've been a Bryce Young, defender my entire time, which I have been, and he had a good game like today, and everybody wants to talk about everything else that was the reason for the win. That's what's happening. Like, we want to say he played good, but like, we won because of Bryce Young today.
I hope that
it was a reason we won.
Everybody,
reason we won.
He would have not won without Bryce Young.
How about this? Everybody in the chat, they want me and other people that preferred CJ Stroud to the draft process to come out and say, "Oh, today was enough to definitively and clearly say, oh, Bryce is way better and he was the pick." Right. If you believe that, fine. You're getting more and more evidence every day that Bryce is the quarterback that you want him to be. I don't believe that there is enough evidence for either of those things yet.
TK, I think though, say it again about Bryce Young. How did you put it? Because I think I get your point, but I don't know if I agree with it entirely.
Well, my point being is from the get-go. So when you have people who are Bryce Young detractors, right? They've looked at the past 6 games prior to this game, and they want to talk about all the negative things, there were some early on. There were some abundant things, right? But they see the game today, and the only thing that can be said, and this we'll use this as an example, Cody. For instance, like, and no, it didn't register to me until I was looking at somebody said it in the chat. Like, your Twitter today was more about, like, you before you would even praise Bryce Young, you were praising Will Levis. You know what I mean?
I never praised Will. All I said about Will Levis was, about Will Levis, ... What is that even saying? That's not a statement.
You know what that's saying, Cody.
Yeah,
you cannot.
You are CJ Stroud. Look at that dime from across the head,
Cody. Will Levis. And by the way,
you have not
Cody. I want you to say what you said about Bryce, though, CK.
And I said that I think we just got to admit that Bryce Young won this game today. We won because of Bryce Young.
So, all right, I think this is I don't think we should have to say that. I think it's a true statement, but I think it's incomplete. I think we won because of Bryce Young on offense.
Can we
I also think that our defense found a way to hold CJ Stroud to 140 yards passing with 2 touchdowns or no touchdowns, passing touchdowns. And for the first time this season, we almost held a team under 100 yards rushing. We held this was our best defensive performance all season. Yep. The quarterback we held. So I want to agree with you with the Bryce Young statement is that we won because of Bryce Young, but I also believe we won because our defense found a way to hold the other team to 13
So
points.
Here's the argument that I would
or
make
whatever it was.
that. We are very quick to say we lost because of Bryce Young. Very quick.
I don't know. I
To say
feel
we
like
lost.
I don't
you,
think we've
last
ever said
week you
we've lost
said we
strictly
lost
because
because
of
of
Bryce
the
Young. I don't
defense.
think any of us
That's
said that.
That's
On
not true
Tuesday,
at
you
all.
said the defense was the biggest part of the problem on the team.
Right.
I've never said
I've
we've
said
lost a game strictly because of Bryce Young. Never once have I said that.
We have. I mean, you said that he was the primary reason we've lost the game.
I could say he's a reason. That's
You
what
said
I'm
he's the
saying.
primary
Which is why he's the
before.
reason why we won.
You said
Okay,
he's the
okay,
primary
All right,
reason.
now we're
But
getting
here's
into semantics. But go
here's
ahead
my
with your
thing.
point, CK.
Here's my point is when you see that that's the case, Bryce Young, the reason I say we won the game because of Bryce Young is because the ball was in Bryce Young's hand at the end of the game, and he was the one that needed to get us down the field, and he did. And we won because of one person, and that is, in my opinion, Bryce
Eddie
Young.
Panero.
Nope.
Oh, bullshit.
Didn't Chuba Hubbard get that third
Bullshit.
down round?
Kickers win games, they
Didn't Chuba
don't
Hubbard get
lose
that
them.
third down round?
Kickers win
Not
Bryce
games,
Young.
they don't lose them.
No.
Kickers win games, they don't lose them.
See what I mean? Here's exactly what I mean. Is like instead of giving Bryce Young his praise,
No,
saying he
I'm
won
already
the game.
I've been
Hold on,
praising
hold on.
him
No,
all
that's not what it is,
afternoon.
CK. No, that's not what it is, CK. What it is we're not giving him the praise you want us to give him.
No, I'm asking.
No, I'm
for
saying.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm saying he
This
is
is my
part of
wife.
the win. I'm
No.
not giving. I'm
So
not.
much.
Not
You won
giving
because
credit
of
for the
Bryce
win.
Young. You can
I've said
say that.
multiple times he's played great today. I'm
Did
not.
we win
not
because
giving
of
credit
the
for win,
defense at
but
all?
he is not the only reason that we
Did-
won.
Did the
is what I'm
I'm not
defense
saying
contribute
he's
to
the
the win?
only reason.
Did
I
Eddie
didn't say
Pinheiro
that
contribute
So
to the
you
win?
can't say we won because of him.
We did.
We won with him.
We
We
won.
didn't win because of him.
That's the most dumb statement I've ever heard.
No,
we
it's
won
not the most
because
dumb.
of. Listen, Bryce Young had the ball.
Because of the definitive
The
statement,
one
meaning that if you
thing
didn't have
you've
him,
asked
you wouldn't
for
have
this
won.
whole week, this whole season, is for Bryce Young to be clutch and be able to have the ball in his hands at the end of the game and win the game.
I
Bryce Young
disagree with
got us
CK.
down the field from his
And
own
Chuba
end
Hubbard
zone.
extended the drive by getting that third down
One-
catch. You're right, exactly.
one-
So it was a
yeah,
team
1 yard-
effort.
1 yard gain that Chuba Hubbard
That
got.
extended the drive that let us milk the clock. You're exactly
Right.
right. That
But
caused us
listen,
to win the game.
Greg,
Yes, it was
nobody
a
on
team
this
effort.
panel is saying that nobody else contributed to the win. I'm saying
You are.
No, I
You
did
are.
not say
You
that.
are.
I never once said Bryce
said
Young is
Bryce
the
is the
only
reason.
reason that we
it's
won.
because-
I've
When you
said
say
admittedly.
because,
Okay, I think
when
we
you
have
say
a
because you add a definitive thing to this is the exact reason why is because of this guy. And while he was a reason, he wasn't the only reason. Therefore, it's not because of him. It's because of him and everybody else
On that
that
drive,
contributed to the
Was
win.
Adam
Because he
Thielen
only had to
that
score
reason?
15 points. Because the
Was
defense
Adam
held
who
him
got
to
the ball
Thielen
to him,
reason?
Cody?
Those are the reasons because.
I think
I
had
said that
this is
earlier.
like the Bill Clinton. This is like the Bill Clinton impeachment when they asked him if he had sex, and he said it depends on what the meaning of is.
but hey, look, CK, if it makes you feel any better, the chat room is calling you their savior. So
Yes.
you should
Yes.
feel
Can we
good.
go to a? Let's go to a call.
nobody
because
on this
Right,
panel
all
is looking at it reasonably. Like
all
there
the-
was.
I
all
think I
the-
am looking at
reasonably.
reasonably.
that.
I think that Bryce did what he needed to do to put us in a position to win today.
Exactly. I'll agree.
I don't think, though, I don't think that this team would have won the game if Eddie Panero didn't make the kick. I don't think this team would have won the game today if they would have not forced the turnover.
the fumble.
Or I don't think this team would have won today if the defense didn't play its best game of the season, dude. We held them to 13 points, man.
I think we would have dominated this had we not run the ball 3 times and had a better run game. I think we would have dominated this game had we not gotten to the red zone and had to kick a field goal 3 times.
Well, you
or
should
had
have
a
gone
turnover on
for it. Then
downs.
one of those you should
I
have
a
gone
simple
for it.
question. Hold on, I just have a simple question for CK. Who was more the reason why we won today? The defense or Bryce Young?
Bryce Young.
All right.
Because there was part of that was I wouldn't even put the defense in. There was that Blackshear return that got us across the 50. The one thing that the defense I would say is that I would give points to us for is the turnover.
So with that
What
being
about
said,
that
could
punt,
Andy
by
Dalton
the-
have scored 15 points today?
I'm not saying he couldn't, but I'm saying that Bryce Young played well against
Bryce
a defense
Young
that's
did.
clearly good.
Okay.
Right. But what I'm saying is it feels like it's a lot of it has to do. I mean, I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of it goes to the fact that you only had to score 15 points. It's lower than the league average per game.
So
I mean, to beat 13 points is
No,
Our
holding
te-
any
our-
team
our
to 30. You're the
defense
best
made it-
defense in the league if you hold
Yeah.
teams regularly at 13 points.
Our defense held a quarterback that was breaking rookie records to 12 points, 140 yards, and we were flying around the football field.
and that's
It's
part
hard
of the
for
win.
me. It's
Not
hard
the
for
whole win,
me
part of it.
to not say that that is the biggest factor in our winning because it, like Greg said, with what 13 points or whatever it ended up being,
He had
it's
18
not-
yards
yeah,
after the first
like-
quarter.
like, it's
18
not.
yards.
It's
I think
not
Bryce was the
close.
biggest reason on our offense. I think the defense played the best game.
A
I
team
think
win.
this,
It's a team win.
yeah, and I also think this is to address, just to change this a little, is and Nigel, this is the one thing he actually is like, I got him to calm down a little bit. That fucking 76-yard punt was bananas, dude.
Yeah.
When their punter kicked it out of the end zone, and that our punt returner had to go back 30 yards, it felt like that shit was bananas. Let's go to another call.
You motherfuckers. You know who this is.
The G baby.
You know who this
Yeah,
is.
that's not you.
And I got a part 2 too. It's Anthony from Charlotte. Just came back from the game.
What's up, man?
I don't want to hear no more fucking debate. All right, I'll no more debate. I've been defending my boy since day one, having to take all this slander, having to take this and that. This is the one game I wanted us to win. What happened? Bryce Young game-winning drive. 235 yards, 80% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, no turnovers, shitty offensive line, 6 sacks, 3 drop passes. There were great throws by him. CJ Stroud had 120 yards to help him on the ground, 140 yards. I was in the game at first and second row. Had at least 4 passes that could have easily been intercepted. They were tipped up in the air.
I agree.
No
with that.
more debates. No more debates.
No
You
more.
either get on the
debate.
Bryce
No
train
more.
or you fucking
It's
don't.
over.
Yeah.
All right, that's how we're keeping it. We're keeping it real here. And the other thing is, I got to shout out CK because he's been the only one who's really been realistic about this whole situation. Oh, Cody last year, CJ Stroud, blah, 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 gonna come in here and dice and stuff. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. With that bullshit. All right? Bryce Young had no run game today. He had 11 of the 34 rushing yards. Like, come on now. We still can't run the ball. We still are having trouble run the ball. I think the Texans had a good run defense. I'm not sure. But I'll say this. Thomas Brown definitely opened up the playbook a little more. Definitely was better at scheming guys open. And, yeah, we can't be dropping passes like that, man. But I just got to come in to ice up all you guys. JJ included, man. Y'all need to stop slandering our fucking quarterback. All right, he just severely outplayed CJ Stroud, bro.
Severely.
Like, come on now.
Severely.
Not even a question.
Passed for 100
Game-winning
more
drive
yards
starting
and
at the
scored 2 more
9-yard line.
points.
Hype me
Severely
up.
outplayed him.
One
Let's go.
passing touchdown.
I told you I was
outplay.
right about this pick.
Well, a rushing
I'm
touchdown
fucking
counts the
fired
same
up.
as a
The rest
passing
of the season, I
touchdown,
don't care what
so they
happens.
both scored
After
touchdowns.
this game, this made my motherfucking week, man. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I love it.
I'll be calling
Let's go.
back in.
Good. You know,
Anthony from Charlotte, you know who the fuck
Severely.
this is.
this is the energy that I think some of this for me is going to be like, I'm so mad that this season wasn't like first of all, it was a 15-13 win. This is fucking
Please.
ugly,
Bro.
and awesome, man. Like, this is what an 0-6 team. This is how an 0-6 team wins.
Can I?
Like, we
Can I
have
the
to
bar
also?
we
remind
rode
that
it
we're
to,
not
man.
a good fucking team.
I think this is worthy of some context, though. It is 15-13, but they had 2 scoring drives where we had 5, or potentially 5, but we had the turnovers and down in the red zone. But I mean, so we had double the scoring drives that they had. They just happened to
What do
be
you
able to
mean,
get one of them pushed through to the end zone.
They had the ball 9 times. We had the ball 10 times. You mean, did our offense score twice as much as theirs, or did our defense stop their team twice as much as theirs stopped ours?
I think both can be true.
Oh.
We're running around in circles.
Nobody on this.
If you think about that, Cody, I was actually I think I caught him in the. What I'm trying to say
No,
is
I've never once said
is that
the
we either
defense
won because
is
our
not
offense
good.
scored twice as many times as they did, which only equated 2 more points, or we won because our defense stopped them. It's an either or, I guess, and it doesn't have to be.
It's the
my
same
point.
argument
It's
when we had last week of whether Eddie Pinheiro lost the game against Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Some people believe that he didn't. Some people believe that he did. It's like, I just believe that Bryce Young was a bigger impact on this team winning this game than I do believe the defense had a bigger impact.
Okay.
We had 1 turnover,
Hey,
and that resulted in a field goal. Like, that's it.
I'm on here saying that Bryce Young played well today, and that he has played better every time we see him. And for many folks, that's not enough. I'm still a
No.
hater. Greg's
No.
still a hater. It's like
Yeah.
it's saying that we played complimentary football for the most part better than the Texans today. That's somehow not enough. All right.
Bad
Look,
teams have to
I'm
win
happy.
like
How
this,
about
dude.
this? I'm happy that Panthers fan base at least has something to get this excited about.
Yeah.
Going back and forth about this, man. Dude, we needed this victory today for morale so fucking bad, dude. We don't have a number 1 pick in the draft, which we would have had not even just a first round pick, the number 1 pick in the draft. There's no reason to not fuck around and win some games this year, man.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean, we
do
need
it.
we need it for the fan base. We need it for morale. We need it for the team. We need it for everybody.
The thing that I love is that when we came into this game, like, I mean, I was optimistic that we were going to win. I certainly wasn't like wholeheartedly like, oh, we're going to destroy it. But not a single one of us had like a thought that we were going to really legitimately come out here and win this game. And it wasn't like a blowout or anything like that. It could have been if, you know, we had been able to score in the red zone. But
I thought this is how we would win if we could win. It's ugly.
Right.
Ugly. It's ugly. And
but most people, they look at the schedule and they saw this and they saw how CJ Stroud had been performing, and the thought is, we have no shot. We have no shot.
Yeah,
The way
you have to remember that the
Stroud.
football is any given Sunday.
Exactly.
This is different than college football, is because every team has talent on their team worthy enough of winning a game against anybody. It's just the good teams win consistently, and the okay teams win somewhat inconsistently, and then the bad teams consistently lose. I did have one other point I was going to say. I need you guys to cover me on this call. The point was, we said, God, it was a good one. The number's 252-228-50.
All right, time out. Let's read the love bomb.
Right.
With the 999, Jay Thomas says, what was up with the dude jumping off sides during the final field goal attempt? Is that
He knew he had to block it.
He says, is that a legitimate strat? What if we would have missed the second attempt? Yeah, then it's like rewarding them for getting a penalty. I thought about that too. That seems like.
So you think he was trying to ice him by getting him closer?
Well, I mean,
They
yeah,
say that he was trying to stop the clock.
Kick by any
look,
means.
the point is the Panthers.
Clock was stopped.
They weren't even given the ability to decline the flag for a positive field goal attempt
Because of the unimpeded, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody got a hand on him. I say this is he touched him. I was like, he touched that motherfucker. He wasn't unimpeded. He got a slap on his shoulder, man. Let that field goal count.
Yeah,
and then he went and tackled the holder, that first one that he had. Like
they were trying to injure our holder.
Dude, it was weird. Like, I don't understand what that was. Like, that is weird. That's a very good point. I don't understand what that intention was there.
Oh, I know what I would say. This is a good time to say it too. I remember it. One is I wanted to close my eyes on the field goals. Like, I really didn't want to look, but I was like, I gotta watch. It was like a horror movie. Like, I felt like I was like,
dude, I haven't felt this much heart. My heart was so like beating so quickly. I couldn't even.
I was just like this is some shit.
I will say, can we all come together and say like that feeling is so invigorating? Like, it sucks when you lose. But when you get the win and you have your heart pumping and you actually are like, somehow, even though we feel so like numb to the lack of success for this team, like somehow we still found a way to actually get like, overly excited about the end of that game. It was just, you gotta love football, man.
The other is, he said, read my comment. But before you get all directive on this, why don't you hit us with a dang super chat if you want to get that instructive? If you want to get that instructive about that. But the other is this, and look, and the people in the chat that don't like any criticism of Bryce are gonna hate this. I have I had two ways of looking at today. There was a short-term view of what today would do for the podcast, and there was a long-term view. The long-term good thing happened today, and that is we step forward towards Bryce Young becoming the quarterback of the, like we step forward as a team. Like, the better the team is in the long run, the better this podcast will be.
Absolutely.
But the fact is that there's only like 10 calls.
Losing's better for business.
Bro, no, if today, if Bryce Young would have, if CJ Stroud would have shredded us, we would have been here till 2 a.m.
Yeah, more views, more
But
calls.
I
Yeah,
mean, I didn't want that, but I was just like, I was actually kind of scared of it. I told listen to me on Pirate Radio. I was like, dude, if CJ Stroud does come out and do this, the internet, the phone line's gonna melt. And look, this is what winning does. This is why, though, being a 7-9 team or a 7-10 team is worse than being 2-15 or 15-2.
If you have a pick next year, yeah.
No, I think people are like just went on with their Sundays, but we have had good viewers.
Oh yeah,
viewers
coming through the season
with the calls. Let's go to one other call, or let's go back to Anthony. Guys, cover me at least on the response.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing I gotta say, Cody, like you gotta admit that you gotta stop with the CJ Stroud shit, bro. Literally, like, come on, you gotta give some credit where credit is due.
They got all the
Bryce
evidence.
Young played
Let me
great
pull up
today.
CJ Stroud's
Really
stats
outplayed the
this
quarterback
year
that you
compared to
say,
Bryce Young's
oh, that's
stats
been
this
playing better. Yeah, Black Cap Panther podcast, Twandon, I love y'all boys, but man, sit the fuck down with this Bryce Young slander, bro. Sit the fuck down. This man just outplayed your golden boy. You know, the people that y'all been glazing over like a fucking glizzy for the last fucking week. He didn't do shit that impressed me today. Not shit. He's got the better play caller, the better running attack as from far what I've seen. I mean, man, Bobby Slowick did a great job of scheming guys open. So did Thomas Brown, though. But, man, we got to keep it a buck. Bryce Young just played way better. And that's going to be probably the only time they meet. They'll probably meet only, every, 4 years. So right now, Bryce 1-0. First win of the season comes against them. Defense, I'll give credit where credit's due. We had trouble stopping the run. Brian Burns, I saw you got a sack. That was good. Frankie Louvu continues to be the best player on this defense. Don't at me. Derek Brown looks solid today. Dante Jackson, you look pretty solid too. Thanks for propping up your trade value. Now maybe someone will be willing to trade a third-round pick for you. Damn, today was a good-ass day, man. Today was a good-ass day. And the other thing I got to say, though, to cap off my calls is Icky Ekwonu. Austin Corbett helped in the pass game for sure. The running attack, we just really couldn't get anything going on the route. Not having Laviska Shenault, that's something we definitely need him back. But Icky Ekwonu, bro. I mean, right now, as it stands right now, you regressed to Cam Irving Scott territory. And I don't think that's debatable at all. I'll agree with Cody on this. He's a left guard. He just if you're gonna be a pass happy offense, which I still don't like, but if you're gonna be a pass heavy offense, then come on. You need you need to have a pass heavy left tackle, guy that is specialized in pass protect. It's just they didn't think that stuff through. I will say Frank Reich and this front office probably gave themselves an extra week. They're probably holding on to a thin line by now, but this bought them some time for sure, because at least Tepper doesn't look at them and say, wow, I forced you guys to draft the wrong quarterback. Because, nope, I like Bryce Young. Get him some help, man. Besides for Adam Thielen, Mingo got open too. But DJ Chark, Hayden Hurst, no wonder you guys haven't been getting the ball. Dropping passes, not getting open. I mean, shit. That was an awesome game. Anthony from Charlotte, keep motherfucking pounding.
Keep motherfucking pounding. Look, I put this on Twitter and it kind of blew up a little bit. Let's all do this exercise together, all right? Say it with me, chat. Feel free to say it with me in the chat. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Hang on, 3 more times. It won't last that much longer. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Ikem Ekwonu is a left guard. Now everyone is already on Twitter trying to call him a bust. Ikem Ekwonu sucks. He's terrible. We shouldn't have drafted him. No, bullshit. Ikem Ekwonu can still be a damn good player today. We are playing him at the wrong position. And your boy right here was one of the originators of this here statement. Brady Christensen should have been our left tackle from his rookie year in Carolina, and Ikem Ekwonu would be an all-pro guard if that's where we would have put him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm done with the conversation. Like I was willing to die on that hill. It's official now. He is not a left tackle.
Here's the thing that's wild to me is the people that are saying, like, I know people aren't a part of this chat, but there's people who are saying that this is the biggest L of Cody's, tenure as a podcaster. I'm like, when you look at the history of it, right? Let's look at this year. This year, you're supposed to be developing. You're supposed to be getting better, right? He is abysmal. And here's the thing. When you think about your tackles, and this is what I'm noticing when I'm watching him getting beat, he's not getting beat like he got run over like once today, but he's always got the speed. The speed is what kills him. If he's a guard, that's not an issue. The thing that's funny about the left tackle position is Christensen is incredibly fast. You know, Christensen, he would be able to get those, when you watch those sacks, these guys just able to get around him without being touched. Like, it's like he moves in slow motion to try to get the edge. I just don't understand, like, why people are really against Cody on this. I was against it at first, but this year it's just clear there's something going on with Icky Ekwonu at left tackle, and if it's not working, you got to try something else. This can't continue to happen.
No, the unfortunate thing, CK, is that we had an answer. Like, we actually had an adjustment that we could have made by swapping Brady Christensen and Icky Ekwonu sooner. But now Brady's out for the year, and you have no options at left tackle. Who are you going to what player could you put in, week 7 or 8 now? That's going to be at left tackle and looking better than what Icky is doing. So it's like, hey, man, I've been saying it for a while. I do not believe his strengths are suited to play left tackle. I'm also not calling him a bust either. And that's why I wanted to talk about it like this. No, the man is not a bust. The man does not have to be a bust. If you continue to play him where he is, then he might be. But you are putting him in a disadvantageous position by continuing to make him play left tackle when he is not built for that position.
Agreed. Next call.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. No, I'm just playing.
Go on.
I think it was great the Panthers finally got a win today. Obviously, it's your boy JJ from Louisville, and we finally got a win. It's great things to look forward to after the bye. I know we only scored 15 points today, but hey, we had five scoring drives, so maybe we convert a few extra of those into touchdowns in the next couple weeks. And we could, maybe we could start putting things together. We could win a few more games. I mean, clearly the defense was doing their thing today, limiting the Texans so much. Obviously, I think the biggest thing a lot of Panther fans are going to get all excited about is how Bryce completely outplayed CJ Stroud, which, I mean, like, I kind of saw that coming. Not going to lie, even as CJ's biggest fan, I felt like if there was a game he would lay a goose egg, it would be this one. I felt Bryce would outplay him today. I actually picked the Panthers to win in my week pick'em. I know I always love talking about, how the Panthers can win. We're going to win this week, this and that. But this is actually the first week of the year that I picked them in my weekly pick'ems to win. So I'm excited that they proved me right. I finally bet on them, put my money where my mouth is. I got to showboat about it. Also, I can't wait to go over to Twan's show. Shout out Twan, 704 Charlotte Bound. Can't wait for my next time I'm over there because I remember Black Cat. I remember Q, his ass. He the whole time. Oh, JJ, you gonna hate it. I'm so petty, bro. We not winning the game this year. We not winning not one. 0-17. Same with Jacob. All the time talking about we going 0-17. No, we not. We are not the Browns. We are not the fucking Lions. We are like that.
Panthers did it too. They went.
I'm just letting. I'm letting the emotions hit because we celebrate today because we don't get many of these. All right, these wins come few and seldom nowadays. We probably won't win next week. we may not win for the rest of. Oh shit! Well, October does end. Yeah. Well, we may not win the game in November, but still, we gonna keep pounding all 23 because we finally got a win, and we gonna celebrate it like a Super Bowl win. Keep pounding.
Now,
All right.
hey, shout out my guy JJ.
These calls.
Huh? How many more?
Yeah, what's up, guys? This is Al Taylor.
What up, Al?
Bryce, he doesn't look as bad as he's been early in the season, but the O-line sucks. I'm gonna go with that now. Like, I can agree now. But and then Mingo has hands of stone. And all right, guys, have a good one. Hey, man, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al, for the call. The Panthers are no longer winless. That's a good thing for this team. They may not win a lot of games. You know, I think that's the deal right now is this season, and this was maybe unfair on the coaching staff, unfair on Bryce Young, but it was 7 wins was the number that the team had to get to, or else it was going to be a disappointment. And I don't see 7 in the future. It might not. I mean, hey, it could be possible still because you get to play your division team. You get to play the Colts next week. So there are 3-4 more games that are winnable at the very minimum on this schedule that could put you at the 5 mark. But a 9-win season is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. San Francisco, though, is losing 17-10 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I need Lamar Jackson to hit Mark Andrews a couple more times in this game for my prize pick. But dude, if Jared Goff, this is fun.
My prize picks.
This is fun right here. Is I've got a big prize pick that could hit. Oh, I need Lamar. Oh man. Look at this. I got to share the screen. We're going to listen to this call. I'm going to share the screen of these 2 prize picks I need that are still open.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg, and let's go. That was a great win. It was well fought by everyone, I guess, except Icky. That was really, really rough for Icky, but great game from Bryce. Everyone else, Luvu, lit it up out there. I mean, it's just really exciting to watch everyone go out there and actually put together a winning performance. That's just great to see. I think Blackshear, I'm pretty sure he kept the kick return spot. I mean, he took out some nice ones today. That was really impressive from him. I'm glad to see that. Other than that, I mean, Mingo had a drop, but he made up for it. Chark had a drop, but he didn't really make up for that. Other than that, I mean, it was just great to see him win, 1-6. Hopefully we can keep building on that. I mean, I don't really expect to win the next 10 games, but win next 4, 5, 6 games, that'll be really good for the development of everyone. But I hope you all have a good show, and let's keep pounding.
Thank you for
Keep
the call.
pounding.
Yeah, this is going to be developing the team, saving Frank Reich's job. Those are some things. Look, Lamar, I need the Cardinals to get a little juice right here. By the way, Odell Beckham Jr. just stay hurt.
I
Lamar,
know, dude. I just saw him. It was
it's like his leg got hurt on a play that had nothing to do with his leg, which is wild. Lamar Jackson, if he gets 100 more yards, 103 more yards passing in this game, that's going to pay out this $10. By the way, use the promo code C3 when you go to Prize Picks. You get a 100% deposit bonus match on your first time. That's going to take this 10 to 100, or else this is a losing ticket. But I got another power play in the books here. If Jared Goff goes more than 252.5, this $20 with this AJ Brown, I told you, look, 88 there, Deontay, man, I could have some real loot flowing into the Prize Pick account. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, C3? It's Kyle from Spartanburg, and let's go. That was a great win. It was well fought by everyone, I guess, except Icky. That was really, really rough for Icky, but great game from Bryce. Everyone else, Luvu, lit it up out there. I really exciting to watch everyone go out there and actually put together a winning performance. That's just great to see. I think Blackshear, I'm pretty sure he kept the kick return spot. I mean, he took out some nice ones today. That was really impressive from him.
Did we play this one?
I'm glad to see that.
Did we already hear that one?
Yeah, that was
I'm sorry. Same. My bad.
Hey, man, I thought the Panthers played all right today, man. The defense stepped up. They was batting down balls. I hate that we got sacked 6 times today or more. Bryce looks good in the pocket, man, whenever he has protection, man. I'm going for my Cats today, man, and I'm thankful, man. I'm glad that we got the win finally, man, that we got a win and we broke that losing streak, man. I think we need to just fix our offensive line, and overall, I think that Chuba Hubbard is better than Miles Sanders, man. Sanders can't get a one yard, but Chuba does way better, man. And I support y'all's podcast. I watch y'all, man, on YouTube, man, and keep going, man. Keep pounding.
Thank you. Thank
Keep
you very
pounding.
much. Kim continues to come back to this as we look at Denver up 14-9 on Kansas City. I don't have any doubt that Kansas City is going to come back and win this game unless they drop the ball like that all the time. But I think that if we were going to trade and make an addition to this team, adding an offensive lineman would be more helpful to me than adding Jerry Jeudy.
Well, your offensive line's going to help out your wide receivers. I mean, think about it today. Bryce had a bunch of throws today that after he evaded the pocket that had collapsed, and he could make the play last another second or two. He had a guy open downfield. If you have a line that can hold, it's going to help his receivers. So
hey, by the way, I put out a poll earlier in the show. It's got 251 votes. How should the Panthers upgrade their wide receiver core? I put trade for Jerry Jeudy or draft wide receiver at 33. And with 66% of the votes, the fans have spoken to draft wide receiver at 33. So no more trading. Although, hey, Jeudy apparently, I haven't had eyes on it like CK has.
He's had a good game.
CK said that Jerry Jeudy's balling out right now.
Well, he had one big play.
Balling out,
we saw one big play. I haven't been watching it closely. I'm just watching the red zone over here.
But it's not weird for me to say we could use him, huh?
I'm sitting here going, man, if we at 33, if we take a wide receiver, they better be awesome. If
That's what I'm saying. We don't even hit.
I'm
we don't even
with
hit
us
on
just
second
going
round.
guard.
But like we don't even hit on second round wide receivers.
I
Whenever
want us
we
to
do
go
draft,
guard,
We
go
don't hit on
guard,
first
build
round
the
wide
wall.
receivers.
The reason I don't want us to
But I'm
trade
saying,
for
so we don't
Jerry
hit on any of
Jeudy,
them.
I don't think trading for Jerry Jeudy is a good idea because you got to pay him, don't you? Or does he have a 5th-year option you get to pick up?
I don't know.
He is the same year that Horn came out. No, he's a year before Horn because they got Surtain in round 1. They got Jerry Jeudy the year before. I think he's in a contract year, and like
because they
I don't
didn't
want to
exercise the 5th-year option on him.
I don't think they did. So I don't want to trade for a guy that has a very limited sample set that you then have to make a decision on paying, or he walks.
Look, let me just play something.
DJ Chark.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Let me just play something just to help put everybody in a good mood.
Got up. He was sitting Indian style eating chicken nuggets. Man, these guys feel, you know what? They needed this win just as much as the fan base did.
Yeah, man, that 100% they did. Everybody needed this win today. This was the medicine that everybody needed.
Yeah, especially against this opponent. You know, I think the opponent you lose to matters sometimes.
Well, also,
a lot of times. And it would have just been devastating.
Let's say it like this. It's the opposite of what we were afraid of, right? The Texans, who had been clearly the better team through 7 weeks with the quarterback that was breaking records. The Panthers beat that team.
Yeah.
Like, that's the team that the Panthers beat. That's the quarterback that Bryce outperformed today. Is that what everybody wants me? Look, that's what everybody wants me to say. Bryce outperformed CJ today. That's what I will give him. He did.
Yeah, he did.
That absolutely happened. So
I think
the fact that we got that W against that team, it matters more.
He also had one more opportunity, and this is going to be like, he had one more opportunity. you know, because 10 possessions versus 9. So like the thing is we didn't, and this is good though. I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to take away from Bryce on this. What I'm trying to say is that I also don't need to dump on CJ Stroud to feel better about my quarterback.
I agree.
And so like I wouldn't want to see CJ Stroud with 1 minute and 15 seconds left against this team, and all he needs is a field goal.
The thing that I think
we can all, because I think he could have done. He could have done what Bryce did.
My belief
at that last moment too against this defense.
Here's why I think we can feel good about this. Okay, no matter who we picked, whether it was CJ or Bryce, I feel like we wouldn't have made the wrong choice at this point in time. Right? That's my belief. Yeah. Whether we taken CJ Stroud, I don't think we would have been in. I think it would have been easier for us to believe that he was going to be a bust, because if he had the same issues that Bryce had with this offense, I think we wouldn't be nearly as generous to him as people are to Bryce Young. But I do believe that they're both 1A and 1B, and they deserve to have that. I don't think it's worthy of saying that CJ Stroud is a bust or not a good player. And nobody's saying that, at least not from what I've seen in the chat. But to say that it's a head and shoulders difference, that's just false. There's not a head and shoulders difference that Bryce Young is that like unbelievably better than CJ Stroud, right? There's too much evidence of CJ Stroud having a good season this year to even try to argue that. So
I want to,
just like that, you lost all your fans. Okay.
I didn't want to go. No, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Is that 2 things? Let's read this one right here. Go back to Javis. I want to see. I want to read his comment carefully. He said, nobody is dumping on CJ because of CJ. It's just because them dumbasses are going hard for him, but claim they are Panther fans. So we're returning the favor. Okay. And then,
dude, hilarious.
The other guy, not the other guy. I don't want to sound like a diminishing him. Nigel says, why are we talking about CJ Stroud?
Is that not who we played today?
And I think too, that the storylines of these quarterbacks will be intertwined for a long time in their careers. It's just part of the way the narratives go. They've known each other since middle school. And they were drafted 1 and 2. And you had your opportunity. Like it's always their storylines and the narrative will always go hand in hand together.
It's also like Justin Herbert is always going to be compared to Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knows that too. That's never going to go away either.
And I also think today, I want to come out and remind people too, is a lot. I have not been on I think it's revisionist history to say that we shouldn't have drafted a quarterback this year. We shouldn't have traded up.
Right.
I was excited when we traded up to number 1.
Right.
I was excited when we got Bryce Young as our quarterback. And I don't think that while I think it's easy for us to say because the season hasn't gone well, that we should have done this differently and that next year would have been the year to have the quarterback. I'm tired. I've been tired of that. I wanted a quarterback, and we went and got one. And Bryce Young is that quarterback, and I want to give him the time and opportunity to show that he can be that quarterback.
Bro.
And I think that's 3 years. I think when you select a quarterback number 1 overall, unless your team is built maybe like the Jets, I think it's a 3-year thing, is that Bryce is going to get 3 years of my time as a NFL, as a Panther fan, and full support behind him. And then after year 3, I think we could, if he wasn't playing well or something, say we didn't, it's time to think differently. But I don't think whatever happens this year, no matter how good CJ Stroud plays, no matter how many touchdowns Will Levis throws, I don't think that that's going to change that Bryce Young deserves to be fully invested in by the Carolina Panthers as an organization for 3 years. I think it would be short-sighted to change your mind and be all of a sudden be like, well, we got to find another way. That's my opinion on it. And so Bryce, I will take incrementally better every week. I think this team needs to get more than incrementally better this offseason, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% more than incrementally.
This team is not good.
Yeah.
Talent-wise. It's just not talented enough.
I don't feel like there's any other part outside of parts of our defense. I don't think that we're getting better anywhere else than Bryce Young just progressing and becoming a better
Right.
quarterback.
I think it's impossible. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, CK. It's like all of a sudden you're not magically going to find out that CJ Henderson is a lockdown corner.
Right.
But give CJ Henderson some credit. They didn't make any mistakes. Played well.
Well, he was. I mean, he didn't. He did make some bad mistakes. It was just
Really?
that the balls didn't connect.
All right.
Like, yeah, he was beat on that really big. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. That was
Miko Collins.
It might have been Collins. But it was just the ball was about 4 yards too deep. But he had like 3 steps on Henderson. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Let's go to the next goal.
Gentlemen, who would you give a game ball to for this game, for the Carolina Panthers' first win of the season?
To the end.
And I'm going to give 2 game balls. One to defensive coordinator, Ejiro Evero. And the defensive coordinator used the bye week effectively to implement a very effective defensive game plan. And, for example, the Panthers were dropping the linebackers backward and having deep dropbacks on the linebackers, which caused trouble for C.J. Stroud on the short passes, particularly on third down. And they were just very as good on the defense and batting down passes and schemed it very well. So I gave the game ball to the defensive coordinator. Also give a game ball to Cody Lashley for trying to educate the professor, Tony Dunn. Because you know that college professors, sometimes they get egos because they have the power to give someone A, B, C, or F. Well, Cody is he's explaining it that for Chuba Hubbard, he's doing something out of nothing, whereas the $28 million waste of money that Miles Sanders, he can't do anything. And the reason why, the offensive line is terrible. If you don't have blocking, you can't run. So Chuba Hubbard is a very good second string running back and doing more than that worthless Miles Sanders. So keep up the good work, Cody Lashney, and
Thank you, brother.
bye-bye.
Right on.
Thank you, man.
I think we should save the game balls for those big David DeVito balls later in the show.
Yep. We also need to do prize picks because I wasn't able to do one on Friday.
Oh, well, we already did it. Oh, well,
Oh,
okay.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
we'll do it again. Actually, here we'll do this. Let's take another call, and I'm gonna refresh and see if I won some money. And if I win some money, then it's gonna be the easiest read you've seen so far. Let's go to the next call.
Hey. You know who the fuck it is. Booyaka! Smoking on that CJ Stroud pack today, baby. You already know what it is, you dig? We're smoking on that CJ Stroud pack because the truth outplayed CJ Stroud. Game in and game fucking out. The only thing that should be talked about is the truth outplaying CJ Stroud, leading us on a game-winning field goal. Get the fucking field goal to win the game. The motherfucker did not flinch. Oh, we don't know if CJ Stroud's going to be able to get up from the NFL hits. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, CJ Stroud had batted passes at Alabama. Blah, 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 blah. Oh,
Stroud didn't play for Alabama.
Bryce Young had he over the line of scrimmage. Blah, blah, blah. We got our first fucking win. The only thing that should be talked about is us getting that fucking dub and him leading us down to get a fucking game-winning field goal and outplaying CJ fucking Stroud. Hey, you know what? There ain't nothing you motherfuckers can say. We smoking on that Stroud pack. Smoking on that Stroud pack. Hey, Frankie Louvu, have your mama show up to every game, G.
Hell yeah.
Can we have Mama Louvu show up to every game if you're going to be playing like that? Jonathan Mingo, finally coming to play.
I thought Mingo was
Hey,
pretty good.
get over here. Come here.
Mingo was 4 for 60.
I don't know what's going on with you.
Yeah, that really deep one.
G, we're going to have a lot to fix. We got a lot to fix. Bryce, the truth fucking Young, is going to be here for the next 14 to 20 fucking years.
Very possibly, yeah.
Terrorizing the NFC South and the NFC and the NFL, motherfuckers. His release is impeccable. Him being able to lead the receiver is just impeccable. The dude doesn't fucking flinch. Give credit where credit is motherfucking due. Y'all want to talk about CJ Stroud? Man, if y'all want to go fucking slob on some fucking CJ Stroud, go support the fucking Texans. Because last time I checked, this is the Carolina Panthers panel, and I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. Gregory and fucking Cody like ice the fuck up. I'm calling back.
All right. Don't forget that the C3 Panthers podcast is brought to you or sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the #1 daily fantasy football or daily fantasy sports website, app, and way to go. The way Prize Picks works is that you use your fantasy sports knowledge to make you real money. You select more than one player, and you identify on their fantasy football or basketball or baseball or whatever sport, their fantasy projection, you identify if they will exceed or fall below, more or less on that projection. The more players that you add to your pick, to your prize pick, the more opportunity you have to win. But there's a great thing too with prize picks. You can either go power play where you try to get all of your picks, whether that be 2, 3, 4 for the big money, or you hedge your selection a little bit with a flex pick where you can win 2 out of 3. I'm going to show you what I've got rocking on prize picks right now. And if you like to win real money playing daily fantasy sports, go to prize picks, use the promo code C3. That'll get you a 100% deposit match on your first time deposit up to $100. You put in $100, they'll give you an extra $100 in promo funds for you to go and win real money. Today, I've got 2 big plays in. I've got a power play, $10. I went 4 entries. So $10, if all 4 of these hit, that $10 will pay 10 times its money, $100. Mike Evans exceeded his with 34. I had him more than, thank gosh, those promos, they run a lot of promos, and those promos help sometimes. Mike Evans only had 39 receiving yards. His promo got him down from 40-something yards down to 34 yards, 34 and a half. So that was a more. Look at this. Adam Thielen is the prize pick warrior. Just go more every time. He had 72.
That's Mr. Dependable.
Yes.
He has never not gotten the yards that he needs.
That just like Bryce depends on him, we depend on him in prize picks. Bryce Young, I went more. Boom. Right there, big time more. What I'm waiting on right now, Lamar Jackson still has a whole quarter to get me about 75 more passing yards. So sadly, though, they just ran in a touchdown. But if we look at this tonight, I've got a $20 power play on 3. I went Jared Goff more, 252.5. I have already won on Deontay Johnson, more than 55.5 yards, and AJ Brown, who, by the way, AJ Brown is on a historic tear right now.
Dude,
if he would have had 125 yards, it would have been 7 games with more than 125 yards. This is 7 games with more than 100 yards in a row for him. And right now, I've got another flexer in. Jokic, I took on a deal. This was great. That was a promo on Jokic because they like they're pushing basketball. And Njoku, right? I thought PJ Walker was going to be working him hard, and I was right. 31 more than 31.5. He had 77 yards, and that game may still be going.
Still going on, yeah. Fourth quarter, I think.
Mark Andrews needs 16 more yards, and that 15
Dude,
right now. It's a win right away. This is a win.
Ahead, so I'm worried that they're just going to try to run the ball constantly because they're up by like 2 touchdowns.
Right. You're right, and that's going to hurt my flexer there. I mean, my power pick. But this flex is already a winner, and I'm going to pay out 1.25 times 1875. So here, at the very minimum, that's close. That's covering this power play, $10 power play. If I could hit one of these 2 power plays, if I could hit both, that would be great for me. Use the promo code C3. Let's take another call. We've got about 2, 4, 6 more to go.
DK, I'm sorry you got to deal with this foolery. I apologize. Like, I don't know how you stand and sit on that fucking panel and just take that shit, G. CK, start your own panel, G. I swear, motherfuckers should tune in, bro. I swear, man.
You notice how
We
G
all know
Baby
Bryce
disappeared
Young,
when we
main
were
reason.
losing?
That is the reason
Right.
why we
Hold
won
on.
this
I'll comment
motherfucking
after this
game.
call here. Yeah.
Throwing, making shit out of nothing, being magical in the pocket, taking 6 sacks, and still being able to come out on the fucking win. Leading us down to kick a game-winning field goal, and the ball is in Bryce Young's hand. What the fuck are we talking about, bro? Gregory, you fucking shrimp. Fucking shrimp. Bonafide fucking hater, bro. Go use your wife's flat iron and iron your fucking beard, shrimp. You're a fucking bonafide fucking hater, bro.
His beard is.
Cody, Matt, go get
Watch
fucking
him out.
roasted on fucking Twitter. Go get on fucking Twitter, bro, and go reply, motherfucker. Y'all are some bonafide fucking haters, bro. Bonafide. Go. You want to go be fucking Texas fans? Go fucking be Texas fans, man. The last time I checked, this is the fucking Carolina Panthers fucking podcast, and CK has every right to fucking come on here and speak the fucking truth.
You're right. He does. We never say
Bryce
that.
Young is the reason why we won this fucking game.
We never say that.
The man
So-
doesn't fucking flinch. Give credit where credit is due.
It's the longest call ever.
Yeah, but oh man,
It's the same shit over and over.
Even 2 minutes in.
Because these motherfuckers don't make no fucking sense. And then you get motherfuckers that listen to the panel and they hear you shitting on the QB, bro. I just went to the Black Cat podcast. I ripped them bitch ass motherfuckers a new one, bro. Because I'm not having that Bryce Young, the truth slander, the fucking goat, nickel. Bryce Young's about to be here for the next 15 to 20 years. Get used to it, nickel.
My man have one touchdown,
Fucking goat, the fucking
32.
truth. Making nothing out of something. Doesn't fucking flinch. Drove us down and won us the fucking game. And guess what? We smoked on that fucking Stroud pack, bitch. Bryce Young versus CJ Stroud is one to fucking go. Get used to it. DK, talk that fucking shit.
So
go ahead, Greg.
Can I reply
Address a
real
guy
quick?
who made his name being a hater on this podcast?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
G-Baby.
this is what I think is so funny about this argument, man. Like it's like Cody said, like we weren't getting any calls and CJ Stroud's getting beat by 21, 24 point, or excuse me, Bryce Young's getting beat by 21, 24 points. But here's
You
how
wanted to talk about world
I called it.
events.
Look, I called it. I called it.
Israel Palestine. He wanted to talk about
Yeah,
anything other than how Bryce was playing.
Exactly. But look, I called it exactly like it happened, y'all. I said as soon as Bryce Young wins a game and he doesn't play bad or has a decent game, this is what they're going to do. And this is exactly what they're doing. But let's put things in perspective. Let's look at how they like to argue, okay? Because I'll say for the first 6 games, well, CJ Stroud's had entirely better stats than Bryce Young has. And they'll say, oh, well, stats don't matter. Stats don't matter. Then we get this game and say, well, Bryce Young had way better stats than CJ Stroud did because stats matter in this game when you want to make that argument. Well, stats matter. Stats matter. Okay, so now we've established stats don't matter because, like you said, you can't use that argument. Then they'll move the goalposts and say, well, it's because Bryce Young doesn't have the weapons that CJ Stroud has. He doesn't have a receiver like Nico Collins. And then
Everybody
you compare
wants
Nico
that
Collins to Adam
confirmation
Thielen, and
bias.
you see that Adam Thielen's actually a better wide receiver than Nico Collins. You say, oh, well, then we got to move the goalpost again and say, well, he doesn't have this and this and this. This is the way the argument always goes. Okay, listen. Me and
You do
Cody.
this sometimes
Listen,
too,
me
Greg,
and
so
Cody
let's not
have
be-
not
This
said
is
because
like exactly what I'm saying. This is
me
exactly
and Cody
Greg.
have not
that man
said
finish.
because we did not pick Bryce Young as the guy to draft that he cannot be the guy. We said we wanted to see it before we crowned him, and guess what? I haven't crowned CJ Stroud either. And if we had drafted CJ Stroud, I still would have wanted to see from CJ Stroud before I would have crowned him too. Okay, so you can't say that stats don't matter until stats work out for you, and then all you want to use is stats. Because guess what? If we're going to use stats, CJ Stroud is a much better quarterback than Bryce Young. Then you'll move the goalpost and start adding other things in. So look, man, I'm so tired of this argument. If you think that Bryce Young is the truth, awesome. Hopefully one day he will be. You're right. He may be my quarterback for the next 14 years. I really hope he works out. I just have not seen enough to crown him to say he's the GOAT or he's the best thing out there. He's not even in the top 10 for offensive rookie of the year consideration right now. Not even the top 10. And he got drafted number 1.
But
Let's
we're
be
haters,
real.
man. Like we're
haters.
Want him,
Yeah.
And not only are we haters, but we want him to fail. We want the Panthers to lose just so we can feel vindicated in our anti-Bryce Young takes. It's like, bro, get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit, dude. Do you think that we all would have been doing a podcast for 5 years in the hopes that only thing the Panthers would do is suck? Like, give me a break, dude. I think that we've been very fair. One, as you can tell, CK doesn't share the same opinion. We all have difference of opinions. And I feel like across the 4 of us on this panel, not only do we touch every aspect of it, but I feel like for the most part, we've been fair. When Bryce didn't play well, CK said that Bryce didn't play well. But when he is playing well, he's giving him the credit. Me and Greg actually are too, if you're able to remove your, we're just hater glasses. It's like, give me a break, man. He played good. He played really good today. I still think it was a joint performance as to why the Panthers won. It was the defense and Bryce Young and Adam Thielen being Mr. Dependable. You know what I'm saying?
CK, you got anything to say?
I think overarching on either side of this, overarching generalizations about what the other side believes and what the other side is going to argue is damaging to not only the people that it's being stated to, it's the person who's stating it as well. So I don't necessarily agree with Greg that that's what they do. That's what a few do, to be fair, right? But the majority, I think, are pretty reasonable, and they're gonna look at this like I am. Like CJ Stroud he didn't throw an interception, right? Granted, some of those batted balls might have gone the other way had we had guys that were fast enough to get to the ball. But that, you can't really point to today and say Bryce Young was able to prove anything with just this one game. You can't logically do that. So I'm going to go about it from that perspective of, listen, that we saw Bryce do what we've seen all year. He's taken a step in the right direction. And that's what we want to see. I don't blame anybody who's a CJ Stroud, fan, or who wanted him to be the guy. Again, I started out being a CJ guy. Like I stated, there, you can go back and look at the podcast. Somebody would ask who's the preference, and I said, CJ Stroud, but I reserve the right to change my mind. I changed my mind, and I'm firmly on the Bryce Young hill.
Absolutely. And you know what, man? We got another very kind $10 love bomb from Mr. Stratz. He says Bryce is starting slow and needs to build his confidence. As he does that, if we gain better players to help elevate, he will look awesome. He's still got that freshman energy. I completely agree with that. And again, people are bringing up my Twitter. Not on this podcast or on Twitter have I ever said that he's a bust. The closest that ever came to coming out of my mouth is when he was turning the ball over. I was like, bro, we need to bench him. He's turning the ball over way too fucking much.
If you don't think he's the GOAT, you're saying he's a bust.
Yeah, that's literally all I've ever said. I've never said that he's a bust. I've never said that he couldn't be a good football player. And I'm happy that we won today, y'all. See, that's why I didn't want to get too bogged down into the whole Bryce thing. I knew it was inevitable. But like, we won today. I am happy. Tony is happy. Greg is happy. CK is happy. We are happy to have a W today, people. Like, that is the first and foremost. My Lord.
Oh, did that just happen? The Broncos turned the ball, forced the punt the ball.
Muffed it? Oh, the Chiefs muffed it.
Oh, my goodness.
And he got up and he ran it back in. That's the Broncos Chiefs.
Did they give him a touchdown? No.
Yeah, they gave him the touchdown, I think.
Wow. Next call.
No, they didn't.
What's up, C3? JJ calling in. Part 2 real quick. Tony, I heard you saying DJ Chark is who you're really upset about how you went from feeling so great about him and now you really hate him. Hey, as long as you keep that same energy with Miles Sanders, bum ass, life will all be great. I do, however, want to give a quick shout out to Bryce Young. Bryce is showing better and better signs. I'm pretty sure all Panther fans can agree on that. I do, however, think it's cute that people are just like, oh, Bryce outplayed CJ Stroud. Okay, he had a little more production and won the game. But, I mean, like, for the most part, CJ Stroud has looked like not just a better player all year, but has also shown like just better upside on some other things. But that's neither here nor there. I was gonna say, man, I can't be the only one. Bryce Young be zipping that football. It be seeming like it got, I don't know, man. Like when he zips the ball and he just throws it wherever he wants, it kind of reminds me when I'm watching Matthew Stafford a little bit. I don't know why. It just feels like he just ropes it anywhere he wants and can sidearm it. It kind of does remind me of Matthew Stafford whenever he's playing football. I do also want to say, you know what? He impressed me with some other things. There was that play where like a corner blitzed off his left side, and the running back, whether it was Chuba or whoever, got the block, but he was able to break the sack attempt and then roll out to his left and throw it downfield to Adam Thielen, and he made a contested catch. I thought that was a great play by Bryce because it was like it's showing you those things. At least me myself, I've been really hoping for him actually being able to break a tackle or outmaneuver a defender or just getting out of their way and being able to show those escapability signs. But just another shot.
Sorry, JJ. I missed some calls. I'm going back. Thank you, JJ. Let's keep going with these. I missed.
Let's go. Yo, this is D. Stafford, North Carolina. Tony, Cody, CK, Greg, G, baby, Panther, Pickle, Muscle, Marinara, that guy. How we feeling?
Yo, shout out to D,
In my
man.
opinion, Bryce outplayed CJ. I'm loving Thomas Brown. 3 of them 5 sacks that Bryce had, man, he held them too long. But, hey, I'm cool with it. Mingo made me hopeful for the future. The defense was inspired. If Louisville going to play like that every game, Mama, Louisville better be at every game. Now, Tank Dale, he is electric and can slide. He can do the electric slide in a phone booth. But we was able to overcome that. The team defense played inspired. All 3 phases played very well. But I got to agree with Cody. Icky is over his head. I was happy to see Corbett. I saw a DJ Johnson and a Barno sighting. Like Frank Reich say, 3 phases of the ball. And Thomas Brown. And Eddie Pinheiro. Eddie Pinheiro. I love you, Eddie Pinheiro. You had me with anxiety earlier. Look, keep pounding. This was game 1. We coming for the Colts next week. Hey, keep pounding. I love y'all. The greatest fan base, the greatest podcast, and the greatest team to ever go 1-6. Keep pounding. This is
Turn me the fuck
Let's
up.
keep the momentum.
Let's
Keep
go.
it going. Bryce, greater than Stroud on this day. Thank you
On
very
this day.
much.
There we go.
The
There you go.
Panthers are here, baby. We are here. Take this day. Relish in it. We've been
Hell
beat
yeah.
up for 6-7 weeks. No more. We can
Hell
celebrate today. Pull out
yeah.
your finest yak. Pull out your coldest beer. Roll up your best smoke. Enjoy, people. I love you, Cody.
Yeah.
I love you, Tony, CK, Greg, the whole family, the Panther Pickle, that guy, Muscle Marinara. I love y'all.
I love you. D, we love you, brother. That was incredible. That was, hey, man. D is easily one of our best cat callers, bro. That dude is the man. Naming Muscles Marinara, Panther Pickle.
He
Bro,
covered
he is
a lot of things, too.
He is the homie, man. Shout out to D, man.
All right, next call. Missed these 3 in the beginning.
Podcast brothers, how y'all doing? Hey, y'all. The Panthers won.
The Panthers fucking won.
Oh, what's up,
Woo,
G?
that was a good game. I was pissed off at the O-line tremendously. I tell you what, that final drive, they came through, man. They came through. Player of the game, Adam Thielen. I'm sorry, man. That motherfucker, man, was playing his fucking heart out, man. And Mingo played a good game, too. Good game, too. Shout out to Dan Trumbull. I am so happy we fucking won. And is it me, or can you tell a difference in the offensive plays? I could tell a damn difference, man. And Frankie Louvu, oh, my God, that dude is a fucking beast, man. He's going to go down being one of the best damn Panther linebackers. Still, he's up there with John Beatson, Luke Kuechly, Brandon Short, Thomas Davis. Them motherfuckers, if you remember them, he's up there with them. He's not as fucking lethal as Luke Kuechly, so please. And he's up there with Dan Morgan, too, man. Hey, man, I'm so fucking glad we won. And I'm telling you, I saw a difference in offensive fucking plays, man. I had, man. I'm telling you, man. Chuba Hubbard running that damn ball, his last damn run, he fucking like leaped over and got that first down, man. Woo! I am so happy. And now y'all can be like me. Tell everybody that was talking shit about the Panthers, don't jump on the bandwagon now, y'all. Keep pounding, y'all.
Keep pounding. Keep pounding, man.
These are the heavy hitters. How did I miss the 3 calls of heavy hitters right in a gate?
Hey, this is Panther Pickle.
Panther Pickle.
It might have been 84 years, but we actually won a football game. Remarkable. And to be honest, Bryce didn't play horribly bad today. But our offense, Icky did. Icky just absolutely ain't going to cut it anymore at left tackle. You know, I said it during the game. They should have benched him, and I still think they should have. Who do you put out there? I don't know that it matters at this point. Okay, you've got Cade Mays, you've got Throckmorton that has played some left tackle in his life. I don't necessarily know that it matters. I know that's a cop-out excuse, but at this point, Icky's doing more damage than he is good. So that's what we got to do.
Great call, Pickle. Just to update, Taylor Heineke replaced Desmond Ritter today. And
in the second half. Like he basically lost an entire half. And somehow Arthur Smith is saying that it wasn't performance-based.
I was just give him a little breather.
But if you're losing bad, too, they'll put...
They weren't losing bad, though, were they?
The Bengals are driving on the 40.
Hey, by the way, Tony, you know my my week 6 theory?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, every year, it's like there's that
the fraud?
There's
the
that
Niners?
demarcation point, and it's looking like San Fran is kind of fraudish. Am I wrong here?
They're
like
about to lose 3 in a row. This is
they're
the third in
falling
a
off
row
of
that they're going
They
to be
still got
losing.
time. They got to make a stop here.
I mean,
Go next. Here's Tanner and Elkin.
Hey, this is Tanner up in Elkin. It's been a while. It wasn't pretty, but hey, winning makes everything better. I'm sure people are tuning into the podcast more. We finally got a win. We got a little slump buster. Keep pounding. Let's go.
Keep pounding. Is that the final one?
No. We still have some more. We have a few more calls up. We're getting a couple still. Greg's got to run. Greg, if you're there,
I'm here.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, man. Always thanks for having me. And look, we'll talk more Panthers football on Tuesday. Tuesday, Halloween. We doing a Halloween show. Everybody's got to dress up, right?
I didn't think about that.
I don't know.
Halloween night.
I don't know. Yeah, man. I don't either.
It's so dark early. I'd probably be done by that point. Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready. I'll be here by 9.
I can't promise you, but we'll see what I can do. But
Not-
either way, we'll talk some Panthers football soon.
I'm not trick or treating or answering the door for trick or treaters, so I'm ready to be here if needed.
I like our streak too. So if we don't do it Tuesday, we got to do it on Wednesday.
I'm down. Yeah, we definitely got to do it one day. Look, I probably won't be here next week for the post game because I'm actually going to the game, so I'll probably be on the way back home for the actual game. But I may call in on my phone, dip in for a few minutes to get some takes from the actual game. Cody, I know I'll be seeing you on Sunday. We'll hang out and figure things out. But,
Absolutely, man.
Y'all keep
All right,
pounding.
Greg.
Panthers got to win. I'm excited about that, and let's just see what happens.
Keep pounding, Greg. Love
Thanks,
you, brother.
Greg. McCaffrey with another touchdown and to extend his did he have one last week or did I think he did? I think he's still on the streak, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, he
didn't have a good game, but he had, or a big game, but he had a touchdown last week.
Christian McCaffrey, you talking about his touchdown streak? You said,
yeah, he just had one today too.
He got 2 today, I think, technically.
Nice.
How about white chocolate was in? How about white
Arizona gonna make this a game?
Hey, how about white chocolate was in town and didn't even hit up your boy?
Because he
I'm
melted.
Ashamed of you. Yeah, no, he's probably got sunburn like me at Wofford.
Next go.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? It's Corey calling in. Feeling good, man. Good win. Happy we can finally get that monkey off our back, man. Bryce looked good. I was really excited watching this game. Not only like, even when we had 0 points, I was still really excited because Bryce was showing a lot of great stuff, man. The way he was moving around in the pocket, the way he was, kind of making plays where they weren't necessarily there at first. Like, he looked a lot like, a version of the Alabama, obviously not the Alabama Bryce we saw, because that dude was throwing, 50 touchdowns, but a version of that in the NFL, the guy who we were kind of hoping to see when we drafted number 1 overall. Couple plays where his receiver sold on him, like that one pass to Mingo. That shit would have been great. But yeah, I think the offense, it looks different. I was like, it's nothing perfect, but a lot more shots downfield, I noticed. And the shots downfield, they just didn't seem like desperation shots. Like before, we would take those 1 or 2 shots a game, and it's almost like because you just have to, right? But these seemed like more planned out, more. I don't even know what word to use, but Thomas Brown as an OC, I can definitely get with that. I feel like Bryce played with just like this freeness, this swagger that we haven't really seen from him all year. So that was great to watch. A lot of sacks, a lot of sacks. Some of them were covered sacks. I think maybe a couple of them you could attribute to Bryce holding on to the ball a little longer than he needs to. But yeah, man, Icky Ekwonu, it's just like he's getting worse and worse, bro. Like I said it a couple weeks ago, like I'm off him until he shows me something. And it's, I don't know, like that B word, like it's a hard pill to swallow as a fan, but like, yeah, this isn't a sophomore slump. Like that's not what this is. He's getting fucked up out there. He doesn't look like, not even like a top 10 draft pick tag. He doesn't look like a suitable left tackle in the NFL, period. Yeah, so that's really rough. So offensive line and offensive weapons, just playmakers, is really a must-have for this team because we got the guy at quarterback. I saw what, up until this game and seeing this game, we have our guy at quarterback. Great game, Frankie Louvu. I mean, he's amazing. That dude's awesome. Love him. Yeah, man, I feel good about the win. We can build on this. Thomas Brown, OC. Hopefully, Frank Reich can learn something. Keep pounding, y'all. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
keep pounding. I just want to make sure that the record is clear. I am not calling Icky Ekwonu a bust. I am not. I will not, and I refuse.
That people are gonna catch you on Twitter.
No, I'm not even scared. I'm just making sure that my point is utterly clear. I'm not.
He should be playing guard.
He should be playing left guard. He does not have to be a bust for the Carolina Panthers. Yes, it still means that we have to find a franchise left tackle. I believe Brady Christensen could have been that. He would have to essentially prove that in his final year as a Carolina Panther going into next year, coming off of a bicep tear. But yeah, Icky Ekwonu is not a bust. I refuse to say that out my mouth yet.
I also think that just because if you turned in, and this has been your position from the very beginning, like go check the tape on this on Cody, is he said this is like, I think he could play left tackle and be good, but I think he could be all pro and be a guard.
Yeah.
And just because if you turn out to be really good at a position that you didn't think that you were going to draft them for, right? Like I think Penei Sewell, every time I turn on the Lions, all I see is Penei Sewell's playing so great. He's playing right tackle. They drafted him to be left tackle and they didn't put him.
And you think they're unhappy that they got a franchise right tackle out of it?
Right.
It's like, come on.
Yep. All right, next call.
Hey guys, it's the growl that makes them howl, aka Cody the Blind Panther. Boy, I didn't see a win coming today. I mean, I thought we could win this game, but I didn't take that very seriously because, I mean, look at what we were before. Look at what we were before this game. You know what? We found a way to win. That's the one takeaway I have. The thing that we did different today is that we found a way to win. We found a way to stay in this game. And honestly, you're talking about, was it Bryce Young? Was it our defense? It was both. It was both. Bryce Young had to overcome a lot. The offensive, I mean, somebody was being a turnstile. I don't know who. Or maybe it was multiple people on the offensive line, but it was like the damn New York City subway turnstiles, and not the high entrance ones. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the low ones that are waist high. Okay? Jammed, you can't put your card in it. It's just got a big sign that says jump through and commit fare evasion. That's what somebody was being on the offensive line today. Bryce Young ate so much turf. It was ridiculous, and it really was disgraceful. But credit to Bryce Young, he found a way to win. He didn't let that get to him. He found a way to get it down the field so that Eddie Pinheiro could put the points on the board. And guys, if Bryce doesn't get it down the field, it makes it so much harder for Eddie Pinheiro to do his job. So it's the team, okay? And Eddie Pinheiro is less likely to win that game if Bryce Young doesn't move the ball. So, you know what, guys? I mean, just be happy. We won. Now we have something to build on. Now we got that stink off of us. That's the main thing. And it was fun. It was so fun to be there.
Poor PJ Walker.
What happened?
PJ Walker leads the same life everywhere he goes.
Yeah, very high highs and very low lows.
Or like playing way better than he should in any given moment where he wasn't prepared to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like PJ Walker is starting for the Browns right now, and he was never. They had that other quarterback that was their backup. I forget who he is. That was a rookie that people were like real excited about.
Oh yeah. What's it? Shit. What's his name?
They had Deshaun Watson. Like, so PJ Walker.
Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah. So PJ Walker should never even be playing for the Browns this year. He finds himself starting for the Browns. He's playing better than Deshaun Watson ever played. He gets them
as
the Brown. Yeah. He gets them they're on the road. He gets them in a position where they're winning against the Seahawks. Late in the game, he throws the ball. It bounces off. It hits Jamal Adams in the helmet and bounces off. And they get an interception that then leads to a score, and they lose at the last second. Like, I mean, it is. And
right now, I don't know if you're ahead of me, but it's 4th and 19, 20 to 24.
Yeah, it's already past that. He's not going to pull that one that he threw to DJ. Sorry, we don't get that one. Here comes Mr. Stratz. Poor PJ Walker.
Hey guys, Mr. Stratz here, and feels good to get a win. Hopefully we can get 2 wins and win next weekend. I thought it was kind of, I mean, you guys already kind of covered it all, and it is a little ridiculous to just pick one player and say that they have, because of them, and only because of them, we want, that's not how it worked out. It was a team win. And Bryce did play well, but there's still I do like him a lot, and I'm glad we have him. What I would say is I want to see him have more like confidence in his. I mean, you kind of already touched on this, but there were many times where he almost kind of tripped over his own feet, and there must be a drill that he could probably work on to have more confidence of I don't know what it is. But and another point is, I still think that I think the problem why there was a few problems why we were losing so much. But I think with Bryce getting a little more experience and becoming older and more like confident in himself, he looks like a kid that just got into high school. Like that was him at the beginning of the year, and he was kind of self-unsure of everything. So hopefully, I think as he starts to gain more confidence, especially with wins like this, I think now, we might really see him start to shine even more and more. All right. Keep pounding.
Crazy.
Keep pounding, Strats.
Denver is going to probably beat the Chiefs. That's why
I don't even know if it's.
I guess the first time in 16 times.
Mahomes is getting wrecked, bro.
I guess there's just something to that division rival thing, huh?
Dude, it is because the
and
Raiders
he's got
do that to them.
that drop touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
100%. Hey, who's playing Sunday Night Football?
The Lions and somebody. Hold on. Let's go to the next call. I'll tell you. Lions and somebody.
Yo, T3 is TJ from G Vegas. Hope y'all are doing well this Sunday. Heard you didn't have enough calls, so I'll get another one in.
That's all right, brother.
I like what I saw today as far as a good team game. They didn't lay down. Played all 4 quarters for the most part. Sometimes you just have low-scoring games. That's the way it goes. Thought it was a good matchup. But yeah, Icky Ekwonu is not looking good, man, and I don't even know if he'd be a good guard at this point without a lot of work at him. I was just saying, even on run plays, dude, he was getting blown back like 3-4 yards off the line. It was just a disgrace. And then, pass pro, he looks like a freaking hippo trying to do jumping jacks, getting up off the line. But, yeah, the run game, I just want to enjoy this one because I don't see us getting really even one more the rest of the season. Not saying we won't, but it's still going to be ugly. Yeah. So I just want to enjoy this one because I still saw a lot of the glaring issues we've been having, getting gashed in the run game on defense, not able to produce anything on the ground on offense. And I'm still seeing a lot of questionable coaching decisions. Why is Blackshear not returning punts for us? This dude, all this Marset dude does is run backwards on every play or stutter step and get drilled. I mean, things like that week in and week out, they're not making changes on. That shit worries me. It really does. And then 4th down on the goal line, not trying to force the ball to Thielen. Then you do the same thing on 4th down on the last drive of the game. It's just weird decisions like that don't really make any sense. And Mingo not improving his route running at all. Like, where's the coaching at? That's one thing that concerns me. Hopefully we can see some more differences. But yeah, y'all enjoyed this one. Have a good week. Peace out. Keep pounding.
Great call,
Keep
man.
pounding, man.
Great call. Next
Dude,
call. Oh, yeah,
Purdy's looking rough, dude.
Yeah, returning to the mean. This is a tough.
It needs to be Sam Darnold season over there.
I know. Sam Darnold will come back player of the year, maybe.
Oh, shit.
And Mahomes is having a really
T3, Tubbs here from Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. I was at the game today. In an electric stadium. We're an 0-16. Didn't expect much. But, I said Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. Bryce all the way, baby. 8-yard line to the Eddie Pinheiro kick. Bryce clutched up. I know y'all were arguing about whether it was Bryce. Bryce was the reason we won that game, a team win or whatever. But no, Bryce, we waited all year for him to do something spectacular. He didn't do anything crazy, didn't do anything spectacular, but he clutched up. He made some great throws. You didn't really get the run game going today. But it is what it is. We're still a growing team, still learning. Adam Thielen, man, I can't. Just a great guy. 33-year-old old man. I consider him an old man. But he plays. I just love Adam Thielen. He made that clutch 4th and 2 catch on that last drive. He made that great catch in the I think it was the first quarter, man, like the Travis Hunter catch, man, around the body, I think. But Eddie Pinheiro missed that extra point in the first quarter, that first touchdown, and you know what? I was shaking in my boots whenever they were trying to ice him today, man. But he made that kick. I respect it. C3 Panthers. I respect what you guys do. You guys are all awesome, man. Take care. Much love.
Appreciate you, man.
Nice
Hey, does
to
it
hear.
say in the transcript what his name was again? Tubbs. Appreciate you, Tubbs. Great call, man.
And also great to hear that you had a good time at the game, that fans are having fun, that there was a moment that, and what is like, why is it Blackshear doing more? How is this guy just wasting away on the practice squad?
It is weird.
And Adam Thielen's balling. So next call.
Hi, what's up? What's up, guys? This is Cody. Yes, finally a victory. Yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It's about time. Oh, well, let me get this out of the way. Greg, your negative, you've been talking a lot of down about Bryce all year. Are you still got that same attitude? Especially the way he drove us down the field for the winning field goal. I'm just curious. And you, Cody. Oh yeah, I'm drinking on your ass now. You claim that you want to see Bryce succeed, but you always saying, okay. So tell me this, Cody. Who played better today, Bryce or CJ?
Yeah, Bryce played better today.
Now, before you answer that, Cody, let's look at the factors. CJ went up against our defense that's badly injured defense, may I add. And his performance was so-so. Bryce, on the other hand, despite 7 sacks, still in the fourth quarter with, what was it, 6 to 5 minutes left, still able to go down the field with a winning drive. So I know, Cody, CJ is your guy, but are you ready to really fully support Bryce yet? I heard you say something about you don't want to sit here and want us to say this or that if it's not this or that. Well, Cody, the man has improved each week. It's time to give Bryce his props. And for all the other Bryce haters out there, if you're a true Panther fan, today should be the day you should definitely get behind your quarterback, whether you like it or not, even if it wasn't your choice. CJ's not coming through that door. AR is not coming through that door. Neither is on Will Levis. Caleb Williams not coming through that door. Drake May is not coming through that door. Shedeur Sanders not coming through that door. Michael Penix Jr. I can go on and on. They're not coming through that door. So you got Bryce Young. So if you're a Panther fan, love it. Look, learn to love it. But I'm done. You guys.
Cody. You lose this team, brother.
CJ A in the chat says Bryce completed as many 20-plus yard passes as CJ attempted today with a hotel doorman at left tackle, but I was told Bryce can't throw deep. How many?
That settles it, you know.
When
today,
did he? What was the pat? What were the long? I'm not disputing.
The main one was the Mingo one that went for like
40
yards. Yeah.
Now is that 20 in the air?
I mean, it was over 20 in the air for sure on that one.
Okay. I mean, I like disputing that. It's just,
but it was it was a wide open Mingo. To be fair, like he had nobody within like 5 yards of him.
But I want to ask a question so bad, but it's already at the end of the show. I don't even want to
save it for Tuesday.
Start it right.
Write it down.
Right. Let's keep this celebratory. Let's keep this celebratory.
You're right. 100%. Okay. See, that's what you don't.
Let's just power through the calls. There's more than they kept coming.
Yo, C3 is TJ calling in one more time. I just wanted to bring up one more point. Well, and also add that I think CK is correct, and Greg and Cody are correct. I think you're all being reasonable, and don't let the tribalism on each side separate you from one another, because I think we're all saying the same thing in the end. I think that when you go as far as to say that, Bryce proved himself, that he's worth the number one pick today, and it's the same as saying he's worthless any other week.
Extremism.
I think we can all agree that he showed good improvement today, and I think, like I said from the beginning, I wanted CJ, but guess what? We got Bryce, and what I've wanted to see from him is improvement each and every week, and I think we have seen that. Maybe not as much as we want, but there's the rest of the team as well. So there's that. But what I wanted to, the main thing I wanted to add is, I think Cody was mentioned earlier in the week and, past couple weeks. Let's not forget about David Tepper. We still need to hold him accountable, and I want to see changes in the front office. But when you mentioned that he's just a Jerry Jones without the Super Bowls, I would say he's less of a Jerry Jones, because at least Jerry Jones comes out and talks to the media, and when Jerry Jones makes his pick, it was a Jerry Jones pick. He doesn't scapegoat the coach or the GM. When Jerry Jones makes his pick. I think Tepper's more of a basement dweller than a Jerry Jones, if you ask me. But just wanted to add that for conversation purposes. Y'all have a great one. Keep pounding. Peace.
Keep pounding. Great call. Yeah, that's I'm 100% on that, man. And by the way, to CJA or the Sports Nut on Twitter, this is what you was referring to, showing their passing chart. Okay. And Bryce went
220 plus passes.
Yeah, 220 plus yard passes. Apparently, he only attempted one or two. Did CJ? Yeah.
Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bryce today. Bryce Young played better than CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna caveat it. That's today. Bryce played better than CJ.
And a good day to do it, by the way.
Perfect day to do it.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Cody. CK. Bad Daddy. It's Chuck from Elizabeth City calling. And, it was a nail biter. I couldn't get to the game, mainly because just some prior commitments in the area I live in. We're stuck with Washington games up in the northeast corner. But I did follow the game on the phone and kept up with it. Wasn't a pretty win. We got a long way to go, but it is good to finish a game. That's a good drive. You don't want a touchdown. Bryce didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Defense looked good. Hey, CJ Stroud's not a bad quarterback, and we kind of held him down. But you definitely can see Houston's got more talent on the offensive side of the ball. There's some concern on this offensive line. That's one of our biggest problems, without a doubt. And I don't know what Frank Reich's use is at all, if anything. I can even look at the post-game talk he did in the locker room. The guys just don't even have any emotion. I just don't think he's bringing anything. But, it's a long way to go, and a win's a win. And I'm looking forward to stringing a few more out. And we'll see a really breakout game here, if not this year, by next. It'll happen. And we're not the worst team in the league, but we're by far not the best. And we got a long way to go. And we'll get a few more wins this year, and we'll have a couple games where we stink it up. But it's a slow process. But I'd rather have it that way than to shine and look real good early and then be disappointed. So anyway, guys, just keep pounding. And like I said, it's good to have a win. We got something to cheer for.
Yeah, great call, Chuck. Man, great to hear from you. Also, we may have misinformed you about the game. If you asked about tonight's game, it's the Bears at Chargers.
Yeah,
tomorrow night is Raiders at Lions. Let's go to the next goal.
Yo, it's my Chocolate Espresso. What's happening? Yo, that shit was awesome. Yo, Bryce made this one throw to the corner to Adam Thielen. Bro, that shit was amazing.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was nice.
As far as the play calling, it honestly didn't seem that much different from Frank Reich, if I'm being honest. I didn't see much of a difference. Miles Sanders only had 2 carries. That's
the difference.
We didn't really
right
have much of a running
he
game.
Didn't go with
defense showed out.
Miles Sanders at all.
Stepped up. The best part of the game, though, is at the very end, and they had on the screen, the giant screen at the game, right? And it's a woman holding up a sign with Bryce's picture on it, and it says hope, right? And then as they show that on the screen, somebody else pulls up a sign and it covers it, and it's the face of Scott Bitter, and it says nope. They switched it so fast, like, oh shit, he can't have that on there.
That's
So
hilarious.
that shit made me laugh. I almost shit
That's
myself. That shit was so funny.
What a great
but yeah,
sign.
we get the win.
I
We get
love the
W.
dupe signs.
I got
You make them
sunburn.
take a shot one
What's
time.
up? That's all I got.
That's
Peace.
awesome, man.
Peace.
I wish somebody could on Twitter. Hopefully somebody got that screen grabbed or something.
Yeah.
Next call.
Yo, C3, what's good? It's fan formerly known as JD54.
Hey, JD.
Hey, I'm happy for the dub, man. Bump all the negativity, the critiques. There's always room for improvement, right? Always room for improvement, but I'm happy for the dub. I haven't heard you guys touch on it, but the last couple of sequences with the offsides on the field goal attempt with Fierro. I know I wasn't the only one that got a little bit worried. Like Fierro, yo, this for the money, man. You can't. Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm happy for the dub. Y'all know what it is. Keep bounding.
Score update. Bengals beat the San Francisco 49ers 31-17. The Denver Broncos upset Kansas City for the first time, I think, in 16 games or something, 24-9. Maybe it was home game still. And the Seahawks pulled it out over the Browns. Next goal.
Well, we officially started. DJ Stroud is not better than Bryce Young. I mean, the guy took 6 sacks,
over,
missed field goal. We still can't punch it in from the 1 yard line. 4th and shorts, goal line situations, we still can't score. I mean, Bryce outplayed dude with less talent, less protection, a 91-yard drive. I mean, everything you need to see today you saw. The only difference today was we didn't have Frank Wright's stupid play calling to mess the game plan up. You know what I'm saying? That was the difference, really. I mean, we didn't waste 3 quarters giving Miles Sanders the carries on the 1st and 10, 1 yard carries killing us the whole game. Nah. So keep pounding. We got to win. Let's continue. And let's pump the brakes on this Bryce Young hate. And he's been all right. He's been pretty solid for the most part if you check the numbers. I mean, he just struggled as a pass rusher. I mean, as a pass protector. But we knew that when we drafted him. Pass protection was going to be a process for Icky. We drafted him because he was a great run blocker. So, I mean, Bryce threw the ball like 180 some times this year. Out of those 180 plays, Icky's been bad, maybe 20 of them. So 160 good snaps to 20 bad snaps. You live with that. Keep trying to.
We can't live with that. That's terrible. He's been bad. Icky has been bad this year.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of penalties. Don't forget the 6 or whatever. Remember the false start game he had? All right. He's just not been good at left tackle this year. And sophomore slump for sure.
Hey guys, it's Chuck from Elizabeth City one more time. I've been watching the podcast and I just got to say one thing. Cody, I 100% agree with you, brother. You're exactly right. Ekwonu does not have to be a bust. Let's put him at left guard. He could be an all-pro there for years to come. And I really think Brady Christensen, if he comes back healthy, could be a left tackle. He might not be the best, but I think he'd be an improvement over Ekwonu. And then our left guard is taken care of, and I think we can move from there. And that's what I think we should address, and that's what we should do moving forward when we can.
Did we draft a wide receiver over A.J. Brown that year? I don't know, but A.J. Brown is fucking amazing, dude.
What year was that? The same year that Metcalf came out. Yeah, wasn't that DJ Moore? No, not DJ Moore. Damn,
Was that Brian Burns year?
Yeah, that might have been
McCaffrey. Okay.
No, hang on.
Brown is nasty. All right, let's go.
Hey, C3 family, D from Sanford. Yo, I just wanted to give an ice up to Steve Smith. You know, he been catching strays lately. He had the whole Jerry Judy fiasco. And then he had state coach Doran talking about there ain't no basketball school. He can't kiss his ass. Hey, ice up, Steve. I know you're going to have some choice words for Doran, and I can't wait. Keep pounding, family.
All right. Those are the calls so far. We'll be back here on Tuesday for the Longest Running Panthers podcast on the Longest Running Panthers podcast, right? I mean, when I say longest, we're going to keep going. Keep going. In fact, man, I might just tell Cody, let's keep talking until then. And he'll be like, what the fuck, man? I haven't eaten. I haven't either. I'm starving. It's time for us to finish up the show, though, with our 2 awards. We'll start with... let's do the Towel of Shame first.
Can we all collectively use this one?
The Towel of Shame?
Yeah, we're going to collectively be able to give one, I think, right?
Oh, I hope so. You going to shame collectively, CK?
I have an idea. Hold on. I have an idea. Let's see if
let's
see if we're on the same page. On the count of 3, say your Towel of Shame.
One. I'll be the counter. Right. 1, 2, 3.
Icky Ekwonu.
Yeah, it has to be Icky, bro.
Yeah, I guess
it has to.
That's all right. All right, I'll collectively buy into that. All right, now it is time for the formerly known as the Dab On 'em Award, a.k.a. the David Dotto Ball Out Award. Who is look? You could give out 2 balls right there if you wanted. The David Dotto Ball Out Award goes to a player that we think excelled in this game. I am going to let you guys go first.
I mean, I almost feel like we could do a 1, 2, 3.
Okay, you want to do it?
Yeah, do it.
1, 2, 3.
Frankie Louvu! Come on, man. No, dude. Look, man. Frankie Louvu. Look, I've been saying this through different coaches, through different staffs. Frankie Louvu remains the constant on this team. It doesn't matter what defensive scheme he's in. Frankie Louvu flies around, smacks people in the mouth, and seeing him on every single play, I'm going to be real, y'all, it gave me some Luke Kuechly vibes. Not saying that he's on that level, but I'm saying I love me some Frankie Louvu, and I will never be ashamed of saying that I love that man as a Panther.
CK?
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Dante. Bryce Young, obviously.
That's who I'm going.
Yeah,
with. I'm going with Bryce. Oh,
you're Bryce.
I was like, what did Dante do? He made a good tackle one time.
He forced that fumble. Yeah, he forced that fumble. But no.
A pussy at. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that word. That tight end won't hold on to that.
He wasn't even holding on to it. That was weird. Like he just dropped it.
By the way, Tony, the Carolina Panthers at number 37 in the 2019 draft selected Greg Little. AJ Brown went 51 to the Tennessee Titans.
Man, he was awesome. So you're going Bryce Young?
Yeah, Bryce Young. Yeah,
me too. I'm going to give him the David Dotto Ball Out Award because
he led us. I'm such a hater for not giving it to Bryce.
Yeah, he led it. He led that end of that fourth quarter drive that put us into position to kick a field goal. He didn't have any turnovers. He's progressed week for week. And most importantly, this was his first win as the Carolina Panthers starting quarterback. And or to me, that's significant. All right, that's the C3 Panthers post-game show. We appreciate everybody who's called in. Don't forget, you can call in for the Tuesday show. The number is 252-228-5098. Support our sponsors, Manscaped, promo code Panthers, Prize Picks, promo code C3, and also calderalab.com/C3. That helps us continue to grow the podcast. Thank you for all the super chats tonight. And I love to see the C3 super fans for just $1.99. You can sub up and become a C3 super fan. We did not do Mega Mingo. Actually,
we'll save it for Tuesday.
We'll save it for Tuesday. We didn't hit it because Mingo didn't get a touchdown, and I don't think we had a special teams touchdown. But we'll pull it up Tuesday to double check our math. Guys, let's get out of here.
C3 Panther Nation. Until next time, keep pounding.